but the shot will never go. Brickety, brick, brick, brickety, brick, brick, West Brick steals the show. Brickety, brick, brick, brickety, brick, brick, oh no, Russ, oh no.
My man, John in Little Rock. I don't know about you, Tommy. I said to Tom, how is it? He goes, yeah, I don't really like that much. It's not one of his better ones. I'm like, let's give it a shot. What are you talking about? That's not one of his better ones. That absolutely was one of his better ones. Brickety, brick, brick, brickety, brick, brick. Nice job, John. Rack him, Alvin. That absolutely was one of his better ones. Brickety, brick, brick. Dude, who do you know that has turned a hotel lobby bell into an instrument? Hey, can I get some help here, please? Brickety, brick, brick. Huge call brought to you by Omega Accounting Solutions. Calling all small business owners who paid employee wages during COVID. You may have overpaid on your payroll taxes and you are eligible to receive a refund of up to $26,000 per employee. To schedule your free ERC consultation, call Omega Accounting Solutions at 800-704-2000 or go to OmegaTaxCredits.com. Once again, that phone number is 800-704-2000 or go to OmegaTaxCredits.com. Brickety, brick, brick. My thanks to Chris Mannix, Chris Long, the XR4TI. Got a podcast with Jamel Hill. Look for that. We're going to push that out in the next hour or so. See ya. We're out. NBA fans, basketball is back. Tip off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is the place to go to bet on the NBA. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the code ROME. Make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. That's code ROME only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Bonus issued as free bets. One boost per eligible game. Opt-in required. Deposit, parlay, and wagering restrictions do apply. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night, along with football. Monday is open mic night, the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck.
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
This is Braxton Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. If you're looking to purchase a home, it is still a great time, and being pre-qualified before you begin shopping is an advantage. At Angel Oak, we offer a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans that can fit most financial situations. To get started, contact our experienced team of Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, Wanda Hager, or myself, Braxton Green, at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
Winslow's is now Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room. With a brand new look, Fifth Street Hardware also has a new menu and serving lunch and dinner every Tuesday through Sunday and brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. What else is new? Well, they have poker every Tuesday night, Trivia Wednesday with DJ Captain Morgan, and on Friday and Saturday nights they have live music open till 2 a.m. serving light appetizers all night long. New look, new name, same location on Fifth Street. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for more specials. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room.
Where can you go where the beer is cold and friendship is forever? Pabst is the place that's in our We can be together.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. This is the place.
Hey Pirate fans, get stocked up for tailgating season with PBR at your favorite retailer. Look for the QR code on the PBR display and register for a chance to win a pizza oven. Game day or any day, all Pirates prefer PBR.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's hot dogs?
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's hot dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's hot dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
When I need jeans, I order online because I know exactly what I want. They have just one moving part, and if there's something wrong, I exchange them. Buying a vehicle, especially pre-owned, is way different. Lots of moving parts. You don't want to get stuck. For a worry-free purchase, visit Phelps Chevrolet. We've been here in town a very long time. You know us. You know we stand behind everything we sell. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Come get you one.
Hey, Ellerby, have you tried our new menu at Clean Eats?
I was planning on going there today. Tell me what's new.
First of all, you're going to love our new melts. A melts is a quesadilla folded over like a sandwich full of things like beef and queso and chicken parm.
Scott, tell me you got more.
Man, I do. We have pretzel bites with queso, our fabulous meat and taters wrap, and we even have Clean Eats mac and cheese, complete with beef or chicken on top.
It all sounds awesome. I'm going to head over there now.
Fantastic. I hope to see everybody at Clean Eats, 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
There's local politics, bud.
I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand.
Was that supposed to be funny?
Get these clowns out of here.
Why would they do that?
You were having a freaking game.
Dude. It's a cocky bunch, man.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome into Pirate Radio Live here on a lovely Wednesday in Eastern North Carolina. Clip Brock here with you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can find us online, pr927fm.com, and also watch the show on Facebook Live and YouTube. You can chime in with your comments, questions, what's on your mind here on this Wednesday. Pirates and BYU, a couple of days away from kicking it off in Provo, Utah. Friday night game on the Deuce coming up at 8 o'clock. We will discuss that quite a bit today. Hear from the coordinators, Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell. Also, we will be having a lot of guests on today, including Stephen Igoe from hoistthecolors.net. He will join us on the show. At 4 o'clock, Patrick Mason at 4:30. We'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles, coming up at 5 o'clock. And at 5:30, we'll talk to Ben Chase. You probably don't know who that is, or maybe you've been following his journey. He's attempting to attend 71 college football games this year. He's been to 34. He's going to Washington State tomorrow night. He'll be at ECU BYU Friday. He'll be at Arizona and USC on Saturday. So trying to attend 70 college football different stadiums this year. And we're going to talk to him about his journey. What does he know about the Pirates? Where the hell is he getting the funding to do this? We got a lot of questions. And we'll talk to him. That should be fun coming up in hour number 3. Shirley Rhodes is here. Chan Man is here. Willie Smith, former Pirate great, here as well. Willie, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Excited to talk about some Pirate football today.
Yes, sir. They gave us some stuff to be excited about on Saturday night. 2 straight wins for East Carolina, finally snapping a losing streak against UCF on Saturday night. And really, Willie, when you look at it, a pretty dominant effort from East Carolina.
Yeah, no, it was very impressive to see how we came out and played on all sides of the ball. Offense was very strong. The run was going. Houghton looked like a fifth-year senior that, he looked really good out there. Passes were crisp, and the routes that receivers were running were great. On the defense, man, they played very stout. And on special teams, man, they was really good. Just had the one missed field goal. But other than that, man, the game looked really good. It really did.
Yeah, and had a lot of folks fired up. We need to play. Are y'all tired of Justin and New Bern yet? I don't know if I can ever get tired of Justin and New Bern. I would love to hear, let Willie hear this call from the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter. So we were here. Let's see, the Memphis game, we wrapped up around 2 o'clock. This past week around 1:30, 1:40 in the morning, we were here taking calls, and Pirate fans were jacked up after the victory. And this was the call of the night, Willie, perhaps the call of the year. Justin in New Bern. Let's hear it, Shirley. All right, Justin's up next in New Bern. Hello, Justin.
Clip, it does warm my heart to watch us beat the crap out of them sorry SOBs from UCF. I ain't got to tell y'all this, but y'all know when Marcus Crandall got knocked out, it was a cheap shot. It was a dirty shot from UCF. So I do love to watch us beat UCF. If I'm not mistaken, this puts the all-time series at 11-9 Pirates.
11-10.
It broke the tie. It broke the tie, Justin.
Here we go. Last bit 11-10. I hope we don't ever play them again. Send them on to the Big 12. I don't want nothing to do with them. I hope they got to live with this for the rest of eternity. And I hope that crappy little erector-set aluminum stadium they got rust apart from all the tears from the UCF fans. Because I'm so sick of UCF. All I hear, but don't let them fool you and think they're a good program. Let me tell you, in the last 20 years, they got just as many zero-win seasons as they do major bowl victories. I'm so sick of this bull crap about this Space U, yada, yada, yada. That Space U mess is as made up as the national championships. They used to be the Citronauts. More like the Citrus not going to win the national title or the conference title or nothing this year. And don't let me forget about you, Gus Malzahn. You started the week talking about how you don't like East North Carolina barbecue. Well, you know what, Gus? You ain't nothing but a yellow egg-sucking dog. And next week in Provo, Utah, BYU, we are coming for you. I'm going to slap every cougar on that mountain. And we're bringing all the vices to you. I'm bringing coffee, and I'm bringing Pepsi, and I'm bringing beer and tequila and whiskey and more tequila and more whiskey and more beer. And Mike Houston and the Pirates are rolling in there, and we're whooping some BYU tails. Go Pirates!
That's how you call the fifth quarter. That's how it's done. Justin in New Bern.
What time was that call?
That was probably after midnight, I would imagine.
Man, that guy was fired up, man.
He knew the whole history of UCF football, didn't he?
Wow, that was pretty funny, man. He definitely don't like the Knights, man.
And we hadn't really talked about this, but to call a man a yellow egg-sucking dog, was that it? And Willie, you've been in some battles on the field, and probably said some things. Heard, man, that's fighting words right there, right?
Yeah, that's
what is a yellow egg-sucking dog? I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
You don't know what it is, but it sounds disrespectful. So we're speaking after that.
It sounds very disrespectful. But that's a bit of the taste of the other night, Willie, as people were fired up to get win number 5 on the year, 1 win away from bowl eligibility, and Pirates trying to go to play in a bowl game. For the first time since 2014, of course, went last year, didn't get the game in with BC, but man, 1 win away from being bowl eligible and hopefully playing in a bowl game this year.
I looked up yellow egg sucking dog. I'm not sure, but Johnny Cash does have a song called "Dirty Old Egg Sucking Dog."
Okay, maybe a Johnny Cash throwback reference there. Good stuff from Justin in New Bern. But you're right. Well, East Carolina really got everything going offensively the other night. And, it looks like now, instead of running for 2 yards every first down play, we're starting to throw. And instead of making the run set up the pass, we're kind of doing the opposite. The pass is now setting up some running lanes for this team. They're being aggressive and being the aggressor against the defense and coming out slinging the ball.
Yeah, you know what, man? I think Coach K, DK's been listening to this show, man. I've been telling him all year, this is what we need to do. We need to spread it out, get the receivers involved early. That's what he did. And, the run was going, and then it was firing on all cylinders, man. So it was really, really impressive to see how the offense performed this past Saturday. And, I expect to see the same thing going into this BYU game. You definitely want to get the guys involved early on the road to get everybody going. And, if you can do like they did in this game and control the time of possession, especially in an away game, that's going to be huge for you as well, man. So I want to see that this coming Friday, man.
Running the ball, just 16 carries for Keaton Mitchell, but averaged 6.6 yards, had the home run at the end to kind of seal it, 2 touchdowns. The fans are really excited, Willie, about Marlon Gunn as well, 36 yards on the ground, some tough yards. He had numerous runs where you run into the pile,
right,
and the bodies stay up, and he kind of sneaks out for a tough 3 or 4. Those are some extra yards, right, that matter at the end.
Right. No, that's definitely important to see a young guy like that get in there, run downhill, keeping the shoulder pads down. And, man, like you said, once you make contact and then you get another 2-3 yards, man, that's all gravy right there. And as an offensive lineman, man, when you see somebody running hard like that, man, you want to keep making holes for him because he's going to make something happen eventually. And I was also impressed with how well he pass protected. He was in there in a lot of the pass plays, man, and he did a really good job picking up the blitzes that was coming.
And that's a good point, Will. We had some calls and comments on that. That's one of the things that's toughest for a young running back, right? Like, you can have all the talent in the world, but I always hear coaches say, if you can't protect the quarterback in pass pro, you're not going to get in on a lot of plays. So for him to do that, kind of advanced for a freshman, right?
Yeah, I mean, that lets you know that this guy has a high football IQ, man, to be able to go in there and play on a big stage like that, because that was a big game for us. And to be able to play with those guys, man, because that's really hard. I remember when I was playing, like, you would go through all these different potential blitzes that you would have to pick up, and the running backs be back there, and they be messing it up in practice, and you're like, man, we don't know about this guy getting in the game. But obviously, man, he's definitely got a good handle on that, and Coach Shane obviously did a good job getting him ready for that.
Willie Smith joining us. Big day for C.J. Johnson, 11 for 140. Isaiah just kind of typically does what he does, 7 for 89. Ryan Jones had 4 catches, but Ehlers was able to spread it around. That's back-to-back games where he's hitting on like 70% now. Willie, that's a great number for a quarterback, and most important thing, no turnovers, no picks.
Right, that's huge, man. You think about just the turnover game in itself. We had we forced 4 turnovers for them, and then if you just don't turn the ball over, you're going to have a high chance of winning the game just for that alone. So that's definitely huge to reduce your turnovers. And like you said, man, seeing those guys, Winstead, he's been really solid for us. Johnson, man, he's made his plays, and I really want to see Houghton continue to progress, because the hardest thing to do is play at a high level every single week in and week out. And what I've seen up to this point with Houghton this season is he has some really good games, and then he have 1 or 2 games like, hey, daggone, who is this guy on the field, So what I want to see with him, man, is the last couple of games of the season is to just, man, show up, play like you did this past Saturday. And if he plays like that, we're going to have a chance to win every game.
Willie Smith joining us. I am not an X's and O's guy. I watch the game, I follow the ball, see where it goes, and comment on it. But it seems like when East Carolina faces a man-to-man, they have really been taking advantage of that with these big receivers. From what I understand, Tulane played some sort of zone, and we're mixing coverages, things like that.
Right.
So I got to think sooner or later these teams are going to see what worked against East Carolina and go to that. But do you change what you do? Say, for example, if BYU is a man-to-man team, do you change that because ECU is better against man-to-man, or do you just try to do what you do best? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much do you change up what you do well because the other team does a certain thing well?
Well, no, that's a really great question. And, as whatever team you are, man, you have what you're good at, what your base is, and if a team has a zone team and that's the other team's weakness, then obviously you're going to lean heavily on that. Yeah. But if that team is a really good zone beating team, then you're going to try to implement some kind of man coverages. You might start off in zone and then switch up to a man, or it might be a mix of the two in different scenarios. But with ECU, if we struggling against the zone, then I would imagine, teams are going to try to implement more of those plays, in coverages to limit our explosive plays that we're making.
And, man, I hope they don't. I hope they stick with man. So does Isaiah Winstead. So do these receivers. He said he likes that challenge man-to-man, and it's about holding, putting it in a good spot, giving his guys a chance. And, Willie, that's something CJ, Isaiah, the guys did on Saturday night. They were making some plays for their QB.
Yeah, no, that was exciting to see, man. They're making some great catches, and man, Holton, man, I got to take my hat off to him, man. He made some great throws, and the receivers came up and made the plays when they needed to. There was some back shoulder throws and everything in the game, man. So it was a really impressive performance from all sides of it, man. From your receivers to your running backs to your quarterbacks, even the O-line, man. Let's get the O-line some love, man. They did a really good job as well.
No doubt, and yeah, kudos to those guys. And Willie, I thought about this watching football over the weekend. I've seen it my whole life where running backs get hit. Linemen will help them up. Quarterback gets hit. Of course, 2 or 3 linemen will go over there, help up the quarterback. Yeah. Who's helping you guys up? You got to look out for yourself.
You're looking out for yourself. But typically, man, the other old lineman's picking you up.
Okay, good. I was like, hey, man, why are we picking up these guys and not our old lineman buddies? Come on, let's help them out.
You know what? That's a good point to bring up, too, though. When the running back is running the ball down the field, you want to see majority of the old linemen over there helping him up, because that means they're running down the field, they're playing really hard, and, everybody got a lot of energy. So you want to see that when you're watching the game. That's something, for you that don't watch a lot of football and don't pay attention to those things, that's something to look for in the game.
Yeah, I like to see those guys fired up after plays, and I like those crucial situations. I think one in mind, 2012 Washington, and they got to get a first down to end the game, and Alfred Morris runs it for like 3 or 4 tough yards, and all the O linemen are like, flexing first down. They don't get a chance to celebrate a lot, right? When they get it in the end zone, sometimes did a running back ever give you the ball to spike or anything? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I never got that.
You don't get a lot of glory out there.
You definitely not.
Willie, heading to BYU, one thing we've talked about this week is altitude. It was interesting to hear Bryce Williams yesterday. He played out at BYU in 2015 and said that altitude, he was never like short of oxygen or anything, but one thing he did notice was when he'd take a sip of water on the sidelines, run in, he said by the time you got to the huddle, you had cotton mouth. It was so dry, and said you were. He said he could never quench his thirst. He said that was an issue. So, did you ever play like out in Denver or anything in high altitude areas? What was that like for you?
Yeah, so I did play in Denver, and so the thing is with that, you get tired when you're first warming up. You're like, oh man, why am I tired so fast? Like you feel that when you're warming up, and then in that first quarter, and the game is really flying, man, you really feel it. But after that first quarter, you normally adjust. Okay. But yeah, I did notice it. I felt a little bit more tired when I first got going.
Kind of get used to it though, as it goes on.
I would say by the second quarter, man, your body has adjusted and you're ready to go at that point.
Kind of a team that is looking for their identity right now. In fact, that's what head coach Kalani Sitake said at his press conference. They have lost 3 in a row. They're 4-4. They were as high as number 15, maybe higher than that earlier this year in the polls. And they play a national schedule, a tough schedule. But coming off 3 straight losses, Willie, to Notre Dame, Arkansas, and then last week went to Lynchburg, Virginia, and got housed by Liberty. That was a shocker. So that can go one of 2 ways, right? They can kind of pack it in and say this is a lost season, or you kind of rise up. You say, let's end this losing streak. So interested to see that the first part of that game Friday night is going to be interesting, right? What kind of BYU team's going to show up?
Yeah, no, that's a really good point there. You think about they've played some good teams, so there's not 4 losses from just trash teams.
Right.
Like, you're playing SEC schools, so there's very, very talented teams that they're playing, and obviously the Liberty game, that's the game that you think that they would win. So yeah, going into this game, man, Friday, we don't want to give them no life. We don't want to give them big plays or make them start believing again because the team is down right now. I think I read that 2 of the offensive players are down right now. So ECU needs to go out there, hit them in the mouth early, and just take the win out of them early. And then I think it'll be a good game for us.
Willie, you can't speak to specifics with these players and injuries and bumps and bruises they're dealing with, but generally speaking, how about 9 straight games without a bye week? I mean, that's pretty brutal on you, right? And ECU will finally get an off week next week, but they are the walking wounded right now. They got 1 more to go, and they can get a little time off.
Yeah, those guys are definitely feeling that, man. I just remember all the bangs and bruises that you get every week, especially as a lineman, man. You're getting hit every single play. You're hitting somebody every single play. So you're definitely feeling that week in and week out, man. So you really do look forward to that off week, man, so your body can recover.
I know you still want to stay in shape and all that, but is it just you're less physical, I guess, during that off week? Like, what did you remember about?
Yeah, and the off week, what I typically did was, it was a lot of ice baths, doing a little contrast with the hot tub, cold tub, stretching. And then, like you said, continuing to run to keep your body moving so you don't get out of shape. You'd be surprised how much you can get out of shape for not running the whole week. So, definitely stay moving and staying active. But the main thing is to stretch, rest your body, and don't do anything crazy to jeopardize you.
How long did it take you to realize that, Willie? Like in high school, you're probably going out there just dominating everybody, right? And no big deal. And then you get to the college level, and you're like, man, everybody's good. I got to be was that tough when you were a freshman early on? Like, keeping up with what you're supposed to do off the field?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, high school, man, you're the biggest guy on the field, so it's hard for you to just have a hard time, right? But then you get to college, and there's a lot of big guys, a lot of strong guys, a lot of fast guys, and it's just constantly like, okay, man, you got to stay on top of every little thing. And, as a freshman, man, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to eat. You don't know how to train. It's so much you got to learn as a freshman to really get you acclimated with the program and how things are run there. But obviously by your sophomore year, man, you have a pretty good idea of what you need to do, how much sleep you need to get, all of that little stuff that goes into making you a great athlete, great player, that comes into play.
And there's a term, the freshman wall, the rookie wall, and we saw that with Rajay, although I think it was more about just him getting banged up, but because he had that great true freshman year, and then by the end, he was kind of worn down. Was that a real thing, Willie, going from playing 8 high school games, maybe a few playoff games, to playing that full season, and then you get to the NFL level, it's even more games. So, are those walls a real thing for you?
Yeah, no, that is a real thing. I mean, part of it is physical, like your body's just hurting, and every time you go out there, you just kind of got to push through that stuff. And then the other side of it is mental. It's like, man, this is a long season. It's good when you're winning because, all right, you got something to look forward to. But when you're losing, it really freaking sucks, man. It does.
The win takes a little bit of the pain away, I guess. And the losing makes it hurt more.
Right.
Willie Smith joining us. East Carolina, a 3-point underdog at last check against BYU, giving the home team 3 points. So basically kind of an even matchup. They are speculating anyway out in Vegas. 8 o'clock, ESPN2 on a Friday night, and I guess the last Friday for regular season high school football. So you can go check that out before East Carolina takes on BYU Friday night. Willie, former NFL player, and I don't recall the NFL being this crazy week to week. Like, Taylor Heineke outduels Aaron Rodgers. P.J. Walker outduels Tom Brady. What's going on, man? What is happening?
It's time for those guys to retire, man.
Hang it up.
Hang it up, man. Get out of there, man. For sure.
It is just week to week. You just never know. Unless you're the Bills right now, and the Chiefs look really good. There's certain teams. Philadelphia is undefeated. But, man, there are no absolute zero gimmies in the NFL week to week.
Yeah, it's definitely been a crazy season, man. And I've been shocked at how good the Eagles are, man. I can't remember the last game I was watching, but I was like, man, this team ain't for real. Then I watched the game like, man, these guys are good. So the Eagles are a really, really good team, man. They're going to be hard to beat this year.
Very talented roster, and if Jalen Hurts is playing that way, not just running but throwing the football, they are very, very dangerous. All right, Willie, good stuff. Thanks for joining us, man. If people have some real estate questions for you, you're there to help them out, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you guys have any questions about, buying or selling real estate, give me a call. My cell is 258-8168, 258-8168.
Pirates on the road Friday night. What's the Willie Smith official prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 21-24 Pirates.
All right, lower scoring ish. Defense has been playing well.
Yeah.
Get 24 on the board and win the game. Sounds good. Willie, thanks for joining us, man.
Yes, sir.
We'll check in with you next week. There it is,
man.
Willie Smith, former Pirate O lineman, NFLer, joining us here to kick off Pirate Radio Live. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll get our upset picks for the week, our top 10 and top 25 teams that are going to lose. We'll update those standings. We'll hear from Donnie Kirkpatrick, Blake Harrell, and talk a little bit about Minges Madness going on tonight, 7 o'clock. And I'm a bit sour. I'm a bit let down. Something magical was going to happen tonight, and that magic has been ripped away. We'll tell you about it when we return after this.
Are you ready for some football, Pirate Nation? Bud Light is America's favorite light beer and the official beer of the ECU Pirates. When planning your fun times this football season, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun. Because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Get ready to have fun this season, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit greenvilleautoworld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
Are you suffering from anxiety, sleep issues, or chronic pain? Have you heard of CBD? You can learn about the benefits of CBD right here in Greenville at the Hemp Garden. Hemp Garden offers a variety of products and solutions that are truly making a difference in our community. Hemp Garden also provides products that can assist with energy and focus. Have a pet? Come check out their selection of CBD pet products. Visit Hemp Garden to speak with a CBD specialist in a relaxed and welcoming environment today. Exclusive discounts are offered to first-time customers. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville.
Love is finding the internet of your dreams from MetroNet. Get ready for fast, reliable, 100% fiber speeds with unlimited data so you can stream, study, surf, and game on all your devices simultaneously. No lag times or buffering. MetroNet offers student deals. Get 100 megabit internet for just $39.95 a month. Switch today at metronet.com/switch. MetroNet. Love your internet.
Greenville Utilities electric customers will soon be able to receive text notifications in the event of power outages. Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American Airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
ASAP Party and Tent Rentals is your one-stop shop for weddings, anniversaries, corporate events, family reunions, birthday parties, or any celebration with friends and family. ASAP Party and Tent Rentals has the widest selection of tents, tables, chairs, linens, china, concession equipment, bounce rides, games, staging, wedding equipment, dance floors, and so much more. At ASAP Party and Tent Rentals, we help people get together. Call today at 756-7903. ASAP Party and Tent Rentals, locally owned and operated on Diamond Drive in Greenville near Agri Supply and Equipment Plus.
This is Xavier Smith, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Drive a little and save a lot at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They have a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles, plus offer service to all makes and models in a state-of-the-art facility. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington and WashingtonChrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live on a Wednesday. Let's get our Flight by Yuengling practice report. The next generation of light beer. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling, available wherever beer is sold. Pirate practice done for the week. They'll hop on a big old jet plane and head off to Provo on Thursday. And game coming up on Friday night. But we'll hear from Donnie Kirkpatrick, Blake Harrell. Also tonight, 7 o'clock, Minges Coliseum. It is Minges Madness, an opportunity to see the men's and women's basketball teams. There will be contests. There will be games. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I was going to be a part of the festivities. I was locked in, ready to go. I had received my invite. I was asked, what event I would like to partake in. And I was notified that I was going to be in the three-point contest. So I started, had the ball here and just getting a few practice shots up. I hadn't shot on a 10-foot goal in a long time. But was feeling good. Was feeling pretty confident. And then I got the message from the powers that be that said they're going to try to just have all students. And they didn't want some old fogey out there raining threes on kids' heads. And they ripped my dream apart from me. This is it's almost like a little salty. It's like a make-a-wish. Well, Captain Bill, it's not really salt. It's more, I guess there is some salt in these tears. It's more sadness. It's sadness more than anything. As somebody who has been a Pirate basketball fan foremost, supporter, but also educator amongst the people here in Eastern North Carolina, talking about it, talking to coaches, talking to Cy Seymour, previewing games, doing watch-alongs. You cut me open, I bleed a combination of purple, gold, and orange, and that orange is a big round basketball. And I thought I was going to be out there tonight on that sacred hardwood that is Minges Coliseum, but they ripped it away from me. And not just me. Good question, Brian. Why would they do that? I don't know. I think there's a conspiracy out there, obviously, where they don't want to see me shine. They don't want to see us shine. It's more about us than me. It's more about we than I.
There's local politics, bud.
There definitely are local politics involved in this. And this was going to be something we could all share tonight and have fun. The likely scenario was going to be me underperforming and there being videos out there and everybody having fun with it. Would have made for some great content. The other side of that is me going absolutely Dale Ellis bonkers. Dale Curry. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. and just hitting everything out there and making great content. There was no loser here. But it turns out I'm the loser because I'm going to be up in the stands, section 213, rotting away like the old person I am. And I'm sad. I'm sad that I can't bring this to all of you tonight. So there you have it. All right, moving along. We will be there tonight, 7 o'clock, Minges Madness. Chandler, any thoughts? What? I haven't introduced you. I said your name at the beginning of the show. You've been introduced.
How you doing, Clip?
Why would you ask me that right now?
I'm sorry that you're going through this. I was excited to be there tonight and video you and selfishly create content on my Twitter page. But I was looking forward to seeing Clip Brock. I've never seen him do physical activity, especially shooting a basketball. Now, this is a guy. Here's a guy that balled out in middle school at A.G. Cox.
Scored 2 career points. Hit a jumper from the elbow that was pure as the day is long.
Baller. Hooper. But now you talk about a backyard specialist, a backyard.
That's where I shine.
Man. And not on the hardwood, but on the grass, on the dirt.
Jim Morrison's a backdoor man. I'm a backyard man.
I was looking forward to seeing you succeed. You set the bar, you set the line at 4.5, and I said, give me the over. Hey, Vegas, cash it in. Here's my money. Cash it in. I'm taking Clip Brock at least 5 3-pointers. Easy money. I'm taking that money, and I'm going to bars like A.J. McMurphy's, Tiebreakers, and I'm celebrating. I'm drinking beers because of the success of Clip Brock. That was free money in my pocket. And what your opportunity of making that happen was ripped away, and my opportunity of making money off of Clip Brock has been ripped away. It's like they might as well have ripped it out of our chest.
Yeah.
They might as well have ripped it out of Clip Brock's chest and slam it on the ground and stomp it out.
Yep.
They might as well have just done that. They might as well have just took my money out of my pocket and light it on fire right in front of me. Because I was making money tonight. Clip Brock, 15 attempts. Easy. He's getting 5 points. He's getting 5. He's hitting 5. Are you kidding me?
Man.
And they said, they must have sat down and said, man,
that damage,
are we sure we want to do this?
The damage I was going to do at the right wing, like I might have missed all 3 corners, but when I got to that wing, man, that's when the buckets were going to start dropping. You're right, though, Chandler. Kano was a pretty lame character on Mortal Kombat, in my opinion. But one thing he did do, put the hand right through the chest, the arm through the chest, pulled the heart out. It was still pulsating. That's what I feel like right now.
Pulsating. And they just throw it on the ground, Clip.
Lloyd Christmas in Dumb and Dumber takes the guy's heart out, puts it in a goodie bag, gives it to him. That's me right now. No heart. No heart. And I
guess your dad's right.
This is. Yeah, I told him he should go to Minges Madness this past weekend. He said, "Nah, that's for young people."
That's for young people.
Come on, man. They like us old folks there.
Not.
Nah.
Nope.
I've aged out. I'm an old Section 213, washed up, yellow, egg-sucking dog. I'm a dog.
Egg-sucking dog. And this is what and you don't have to listen to me, but this is what I say you do. I say you grab this basketball in there that we have here at the studio. You grab it, and I don't care what you do. Go out there, push the first contestant down, and say, I'm here, baby. I'm in the house. You want to get rid of me? Good luck. And then pull up from straight away and knock it down and then run out of Minges. And that is what you call madness. That's what you call Minges Madness.
We make our own madness around here. All right. Good stuff, Chan, man. Josh says, I'll give you some money since Vegas won't, Chandler. All I ask in return is they keep I don't know what he's trying to say. All right, let's get to our upset picks. Last week, I went 1-1. Chandler went 0-2.
Man, did that Syracuse pick look really good for so long until it didn't.
Until it ripped your heart out.
Until it ripped my heart out, slammed it on the ground, and stomped on it.
CJ went 2-0. 2-0?
He took the easy route.
No, he didn't.
I'm just kidding.
He did. He kind of did.
I did take the Alabama one right. That's the easy route.
That's it.
Oregon beating UCLA, which I had that one happening too. So you're 10-6. Chandler and I are 9-7. We're picking a top 10 team and a top 25 team to lose each Wednesday. So CJ, the ball, as hard as it is for me to say, is in your court.
Take a shot.
Because it sure as hell ain't in my court.
Take a 3-point shot, CJ.
Do I get 15 opportunities?
Just go.
Let me see. I'm taking Ohio State to beat Penn State. That one, silver platter. I don't think it's going to be too close. So I'll take Penn State losing as my top 25 team.
While we're on the subject, Penn State is my top 25 pick to lose as well. Chandler, who is your top 25 team to lose?
Man, I am going to go Ohio. No. No. I tell you what. I know. This is what's going on. Okay. UCF's mad. UCF's mad. They're back in that aluminum stadium of theirs. UCF fans are going to show up. They're going to be bouncing around in the bounce house. It's going to be loud. It's going to be annoying. It's an annoying sound. Like a bleachers just, being banged around.
Ting, 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 ting.
It's third down.
Ting, 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 ting.
Cincinnati's not going to know what to do. UCF, they come to Greenville last week. Lee Corso's up there saying, it's going to be an awesome game day next week in Orlando.
Sweetheart.
Herb Street's like, that's news to me. Yeah, they ain't going to Orlando this week because the Pirates whooped their ass. They're hungry. They're mad. They want to win. Not only do they want to bounce back win, they want it at home. They're getting that chance this week against the top 20 team in Cincinnati. They're 20th in the country right now. 6-1 on the season. The only loss they have is against Arkansas. UCF's only loss is to Louisville and this team that I like to call East Carolina University. But they bounce back this week in front of their home crowd. They win the hearts back of their fans because their fans were upset last week, let me tell you. But they're going to be all right. It's going to be a lot like East Carolina losing to Tulane, where our fans were upset. Oh, it's a step back in the program. Boom! Very next week, we get a win. It's going to be the same for UCF. They get a win at home against Cincinnati in the bounce house in the aluminum full that is their stadium. Yes, sir, Mr. Brock.
You said, as I go over my transcript here, you said they would be mad. Is that correct?
Yes.
You said they would be hungry. Is that correct?
Yes.
You didn't bring up this little point that I think is very important. Will they be warm?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I like your pick then.
No need to bring out the heaters this weekend because they're back at home in warm, sunny Florida. Central Florida.
I like you putting them on the table. Good pick, Chandler. All right, CJ, top 10 team to lose on Saturday or Thursday or Friday.
So here's the thing. I've heard everybody this week talking about how, this is going to be a week slate for college football.
Week slate.
Next week is going to be when all the exciting matchups
Next
happen.
week's a good week.
There's no excitement this weekend.
I hate this week.
Oh, it all sucks. No, wrong. Wake Forest is losing.
Whoa!
Wake Forest is losing to Louisville.
Hold up.
Every week, somebody slips up and you never see it coming. Except for me. I see it coming. It's happening. Book it.
Wow. You know, CJ, I like that pick because there's a little thing I like to call a look ahead.
Ooh.
And Wake Forest is looking ahead to an in-state top 25 rivalry match against NC State. As part of that, next week's going to be good. That's one of the good games. Good matchups. But Wake Forest loses this game. That game loses some of its luster. You say they lose to Louisville?
They lose to Louisville.
Is that in the house that Papa John built? Or in the house that Tim Duncan built?
No, it's at Louisville.
Right.
If it was flipped, I probably wouldn't have picked it, but I'm liking Louisville.
Because of that rabid Wake Forest fan base?
That's true, all 12 of them.
All right. My top 25 pick, they call it Happy Valley. Going to be more Sad Valley, in my opinion. Wait a minute. I already picked that one. My top 10 pick to lose. They call it Stillwater, or they're going to be running for their lives on Saturday. It's going to be called Running for Your Lives Water, because Oklahoma State is losing to those purple people eaters from Manhattan, Kansas. Manhattan, Kansas. The K-State Wildcats are going to scratch and claw their way into a victory at Bill Snyder Family Stadium, 3:30 on Fox. Mike Gundy, take your mullet.
I'm a man.
Take your man.
I'm 52.
You're 40. Whatever you are, get on back down the road, because we don't like your kind here in Manhattan, Kansas. K-State, a home favorite in the game over number 9 Oklahoma State. I will take the Wildcats, coming off a loss, mind you, against TCU. I will take K-State to beat Oklahoma State. Chandler.
Here I go again. Here I go again, folks. Last week I was laughed at. Previously to that, I was laughed at because I started to play this little song that I like to call Rocky Top. What a win for the Vols that day. And I said, you know what? I'm going to bring the boys out. I'm going to put them on the table again. With Syracuse going on the road to Clemson, felt very good with Dino Babers Ball Club going to Clemson. And, you know, a guy in DJ Ugalele, who they actually benched. What about this freshman for Clemson? He's going to win them some ball games.
Stanley Kubrick.
Whatever.
Kubrick.
That one looked good. It almost looked like 2 straight weeks where Chandler Honeycutt puts the boys on the table, and it pays off for him. Now, people probably go, no way he does that again. He lost last week.
I heard a lot of people saying that this week.
Yeah, some people, and I heard. I was in Food Line the other day, and I heard people talking about it, and I was like, "Hey guys, you wait till this week," because people probably think
Chandler's carried around 2 cantaloupes.
No way he takes
down the aisle.
No way he takes the boys, takes them out again, and says, "Let's ride." But I am. Y'all say it with me. We are.
Penn State.
We are Penn State. We are Penn State. Ohio State goes on the road at Penn State. I love Penn State at home here. And you probably are thinking I'm crazy. Yes, I'm crazy. Because it's probably not going to happen. But the past 2 weeks, are you kidding me? That feeling that I have felt watching these games, there is no wager on these upset picks this year. But the feeling that I get laying the boys out on the table and putting that risk out there, making myself look like not a sports guy, and having the chance to win there.
This is how you
become a man in life.
This is how you become a sports guy. This is
how you
what
become a
sealed the
sports
deal
guy.
for you earlier this year.
I like this matchup. Now, the spread in Vegas does it, because I believe Ohio State is 15.5-point favorites here on the road. Penn State could pull the upset here. I think they do. We are Penn State. Give me the Nittany Lions
boy.
At home. It's going to probably be a whiteout. Pom-poms going everywhere.
Gus Johnson.
I can just see it right now. All the Panther fans want C.J. Stroud. He's going to struggle in this game, and all these crazy people are going to go, oh, my God, oh. He's going to have this one bad game, and it's going to be this week at Death Valley.
Happy Valley.
Happy Valley, sorry.
Get your valley straight.
Sorry, wrong valley. I was in Death Valley last week.
Right, yeah. Come back.
Hey, was in Death Valley last week. I was upset because Syracuse lost, but now I'm happy.
Because
I have faith.
He's happy, clap along if you feel like I knew it about a boo.
Now I'm happy in Happy Valley. Give me Penn State over Ohio State.
Wow. All right. The pick is in.
Did I really just do that? Oh, yes, I did.
Did he do it again, folks, or did he do it again? He done did it again. And it's not, oops, I did it again. You did it again on purpose.
What is Brittany doing with her life?
Brittany who?
Spears.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and really get into the Flight by Yingling practice report brought to you by Flight by Yingling. We'll hear from Donnie K when we return. Maybe a little Blake Harrell as well. When we return on Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Crank it up!
So, how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So, Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
So, how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So, Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Pitt County has not gotten our fair share when it comes to state funding because we don't have a seat at the table when it comes time to craft the budget. While the legislature is controlled by Republicans, 100% of Pitt County's members are Democrats. This despite Democrats only making up 40% of Pitt County citizens. Furthermore, while most of our county has risen to the challenge of the pandemic and new business, as well as new development, the glaring exception is the town of Bethel. Under Mayor Glorstein Brown, the signs of the times in Bethel are for rent, no trespassing, and out of business.
What I see happening in Bethel is what I would love to see happen in my district and within the county.
What? No. That's not what we need. Charles Drock Vincent is a businessman who will be your voice in Raleigh, making sure Pitt County gets our fair share of state funding to facilitate more positive growth in our area. Remember to vote Vincent, your voice in the State House.
Paid for by Vincent for House.
Welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
At US Cellular, any phone you see is free, whether you're a new or current customer. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
We all love using Uber Eats, DoorDash, and grocery pickup. It makes life so much easier. Well, now there is cellular delivery, and the team at Cellular Warehouse has perfected the process. They will deliver your new phone right to your door with all your information loaded on the new phone, and the best thing is there is no charge for this awesome service. And you don't have to waste half the day sitting in a Cellular store. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 and let his team of experts make your cellular delivery today. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent, serving all of Eastern North Carolina.
It's bow time. So it's game time and you got a bunch of rabid fans.
Dad, we're hungry.
You head out to fire up burgers and dogs and go from grill master to MVP. Then you realize you're out of GAS. Yup, out of gas on game day. What do? Drop a big bow box on it. Game on. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea. It's bow time.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Sadie's Grill is known for great homemade breakfast
and awesome country cook and lunch specials. And now CD's Grill is open for dinner Monday through Friday. That's right. CD's Grill, located on Fire Tower Road in Winterville, is now open for dinner. And CD's is excited to announce that every Friday night is steak night. CD's Steak Night every Friday night starting at 4:30 features certified black Angus ribeye steaks, baked potato or sweet potato, and a salad bar. You asked for it, and once again, CD's Grill delivers every Friday night with Steak Night. CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Pirate Radio.
We'll strap it on with anybody, anywhere. It doesn't matter. I know this. I want to win or lose with the group that we have in our locker room.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Find yourself having anxiety or in need of some extra sleep support? Well, Hemp Garden is your premium CBD retailer in Eastern North Carolina, and they have a variety of Delta 8 and Delta 9 products that can assist with those issues. If you're unable to stop by the store, don't worry. Give them a call today at 413-6100 for a consultation, and they'll ship right to your door. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live on a Wednesday. Pirate says, I think they should let you go first, just so you can show everybody how it's done.
He might be talking about you in the 3-point contest,
which I'm not doing. Which got ripped away from my.
Got ripped away.
Not cold dead hands, my
hot hands,
living warm hands. Or he might have been talking about you going first in the picks because you show us how it's done. Josh, and now I know what Josh was trying to say. Autocorrect got him. Chandler, he'll give you some money since Vegas won't. All he asking is in return is your Jeep.
Wow.
He is still on the Jeep.
Wow.
Where is Jesse? Let's get a Jesse update.
Jesse
update.
Jesse is in the shop still. Jesse's doctors told me last night they wanted to keep her overnight. Said she should be able to be discharged today. Still not have heard from the doctors. Have not heard from the doctors. So Jesse's still laid up in the hospital bed. No update. Could you imagine having your significant other in the hospital and they're not giving you any updates?
Can you visit her? Do you want to go see her after the show?
How can I get there?
I know a little blue.
Oh, yes, you do. And yes, I do, too. But we can't. We got to get the Minges, baby. If my old girl, Jessie, the Jeep, is not ready by the end of the show, then, hey, sorry, baby doll. I got Minges Madness to go see. I would be a lot more excited if Clip Brock was in the 3-point contest, but I'm still going because I want to see these new Pirates.
Steve says, I challenge Clipper to a shootout. Here we go.
All right, get your guns out.
Every Tom, Dick, and Harry wants some of the...
He wants some of this.
Some of the righty now, huh? All right, whenever you want it.
Did you ever have the mini goals when you were younger? Mini basketball goals?
Are you a sports guy? Do you? Well,
I consider.
Do you consider me a sports guy?
Yeah.
Did I have a mini goal? Better question. How many of those did I go through? How many of those did I break? And before I could get a new one from my parents, I had to put hangers together, duct tape them, or electrical tape, whatever we had, to make a mini goal until I could get my next mini goal.
Gosh. See, ECU Athletics, this is the guy that you ripped out of the 3-point contest. A guy that was an innovator as a young child.
As a kid, I'm out in my driveway shooting. If I'm staying at my grandparents, my parents are off, gone for a couple hours. I'm at my grandparents' house. I'm at their neighbor's house getting up jumpers.
Wow. Just trespassing.
I'm getting
a man that was trespassing.
No, they liked watching me rain 3 so much they allowed me to go in their driveway and shoot.
So they
put on a display.
So the neighbors, the neighbors would say, the husband would say, "Hey, Hey, Melissa. Hey, Clip's out here shooting basketball again.
They were the Heaths. They were great people. They took me to my first Braves game.
Oh, wow.
In the early 90s.
Cool, neat story.
Thank you. I saw Fulton County Stadium, unlike Shirley Rhodes. All right, who cares? Nobody. So let's get to our Flight by Yingling practice report, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. The next generation of light beer. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling, available wherever beer is sold. Shirley, let's hear from East Carolina offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick.
You've been out to Provo before.
I have, yeah.
What was the crowd and atmosphere like?
They have a good atmosphere. It'll be packed. They support their team there. They've been good for a long time. It's a national, brand product, and good student section, and Friday night games I think is kind of their deal. The night games, they kind of live for those, and they've always played a lot of Friday night games. I don't know if that has anything to do with the school or whatever, but I know they always have a lot of Friday night games, and it's always packed. So they're really nice to you when you get there, and then they get really rowdy as the game gets going on because they want to win. So it's a good atmosphere for football.
How do y'all stimulate that as best as possible? Just the music?
Well, we play Bon Jovi music till we can't hardly stand it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Every day out there at practice, and it's really loud. And it was extra loud this week, especially today. It was bumping pretty good out there. So, that's probably the biggest thing is you just kind of practice in that. We're a hand signal, you've got all those type things anyhow, and we're basically a silent count anyhow with our cadence. So I don't think it'll bother us very much.
Have y'all talked about the elevation any this week, Don?
No, we hadn't. I think the elevation out there is probably just like what it is in the western part of North Carolina, a little bit like that too, so I don't think it's going to be a factor. I think that's something that they probably promote. They want you to think that. I know I spent some time obviously in Boone coaching at Appalachian State. We put every wall had a sign up about the elevation and all that stuff, especially in the visitors' dressing room, which was a sight job. And it worked to some extent. But having played there one time, I'm obviously not an expert, but I don't remember anybody ever mentioning anything about, the air being too thin to breathe or anything like that. So, no.
How proud were you of just the offense against UCF, taking advantage of a good defense and getting some one-on-one matches and winning those?
Well, yeah, when you have a good game, you always feel good. The winning's the main thing, though. We always try to keep the main thing, and that's to win the game. And I tell the offense every week, not to put pressure on them, but just to state the facts because that's kind of my job. We've played really, really good 5 times this year, and you see what's happened. And then I thought we played pretty good in the first game, against a really good defense, which has proven to be a pretty good defense as the year's gone on up there. But I thought we played good enough to win the game. But with 5 games, we've lit it up now. You know what I'm saying? And so last week we had, if you don't count the kneel down, which was 1 play, 8 possessions. We scored 6 of them. We did try to clang one off the goalpost again just to see if we could do it, and I guess we could. So we didn't ever punted 1 time. So, yeah, you feel good about that. Now, when you come back in and you look at it, there's still a lot of things you got to correct. It's just more fun to correct them, when you've had a win like that. But it was a great team victory. They are a good team. I'm sure they'll prove to be a good team, too. The college game right now is getting to the point where it's just hard to play your best every week, and there's just so many other good teams. There's really not a lot of any bad teams anymore. The team at the bottom of your league can go and almost beat the top team anymore, and sometimes they do. So, but it was good. Yeah, we felt good about that. You don't get to enjoy it long. You get home at midnight or whatever it is, and, you stay up as long as you can to try to enjoy it because the next day you come in, you put the film on, and there's 25, 26-year-old grown men that are huge, that you're getting ready to go play against, and it's a proud program. It's a national, like I say, it's a national program. It's a program that was ranked 12th in the country not that long ago. Now, they've had a ton of injuries. And, probably they'll all be back this week. It's probably the way you have to prepare for that. But I know they're going to respond, so it'll be a great challenge. But it's what you do. It's why you do this, because you like that.
Do you feel like you guys unlocked anything on offense, or is every game just sort of its own little world?
Well, I think we're getting better. You know what I'm saying? Which is the key, is that you have to keep getting better, or because the other teams will get better. The team that just stays the same, obviously it's getting worse, really. So I think that we're hitting on a lot of cylinders. I think there's a lot of guys playing well. I think they're playing with some confidence. The week before, like I'd said, I really didn't realize we were down 17-0 because I wasn't focused on that. I guess I had preached to them, quit looking at the scoreboard. It doesn't matter. You have to play the next play. And I guess they did a little bit of that. I know I did it, I guess. But what's good is now we've gotten ahead and we've kept the lead throughout the whole game. We did that at South Florida. We're behind. We've come back. Those are the things that make you better, is when your team just starts believing momentum's always coming our way, okay? Then when you got the momentum, pedal to the metal. When you don't, you got to get the brakes on it. You got to get it reversed. Somebody's got to make a play. You got to stay excited about it. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. So, yeah.
Donnie Kirkpatrick, East Carolina offensive coordinator. We've got more from Donnie K. We've got Blake Harrell and Mike Houston's comments from Tuesday. Everything pushed up a day this week because of Pirate football on a Friday night, East Carolina and BYU. We'll break it down with Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, when we return. Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Gotten cloudy all of a sudden. I didn't bring a jacket. We'll be back with you after this.
My name is Gary Weaver. I'm a 34-year veteran of law enforcement, and I am running for sheriff of Pitt County because our county needs new leadership in their sheriff's office. As sheriff, I will do what is necessary to keep our community safe, stop the illegal trade of fentanyl and other drugs, protect our children in their schools, and recruit more deputies to patrol our streets. It's time for a change, a new direction. Pitt County deserves better. Vote Gary Weaver for Pitt County Sheriff.
Paid for by the committee to elect Gary Weaver Sheriff.
Pirate fans, it's your last chance to see East Carolina football at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium this year as the Pirates wrap up the 2022 home schedule, hosting the Houston Cougars on Saturday the 19th. Tickets are still available in the lower bowl for just $50, and for just $35 you can get a great view from the upper deck. It will be senior day for the Pirates, so pack the stadium and give this special group a Pirate Nation ovation and a great purple and gold send-off. Call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com to get your tickets today.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Greenville is making it easy for you to buy a new truck or Jeep in October. The inventory is back and so are the incentives. It's Ram Power Days at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep, and you'll save up to $2,500 plus get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new Ram truck. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep needs to make way for the 2023 model, so October is a great month for you to upgrade into a new Ram or Jeep. Save $2,000 or get 2.9% financing for 60 months on a new Jeep Compass. Save up to $2,500 on the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. And you'll need to check out the new 2023 models like the new Jeep Wrangler. Lease the new 2023 Jeep Wrangler Sport for only $399 a month.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep, across from the Crackville in Greenville. Come see us.
Wrangler lease is 39 months, 10,000 miles per year with $29.99 due at signing. Offers do not include tax, tags, and the $7.99 admin fee. Customers must qualify for all applicable rebates. See dealer for details.
This is Holt Nailers. I've been eating at Parker's BBQ since I was a kid. Now, all these years later, I still love to eat at Parker's. In fact, I love it so much, I bring my entire offensive line with me. They protect me, and I look out for them with great food from Parker's BBQ. So whether you bring the team like me or just your friends and family, the awesome barbecue, chicken, and seafood at Parker's is a win every time. Parker's BBQ, where they always treat you like family.
Are you looking for a home loan? Look no further than Amy Goss at Guild Mortgage. Since 1960, Guild Mortgage has partnered with industry professionals to close loans on time and help millions of Americans realize their dreams. Call Amy Goss at Guild Mortgage in Jacksonville, 910-389-4602. Amy Goss is licensed in Florida, Georgia, Maine, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Guild Mortgage Company, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS 3274. NMLSconsumeraccess.org/for licensing information. Please visit guildmortgage.com/licensing. Guild Mortgage is not affiliated with Pirate Radio.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With homes in Blackwood, Mills Creek, Dalton's Cove and Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, they're constantly expanding. Now to Laurel Glen and Sarah's Way, plus the new duplex community at Abigail Trails. BMS Builders can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or ECU football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. Call 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour brought to you by Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. And there's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Brock. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's day. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, finishing up some trivia for tonight, and just came across a really cool, neat stat.
Neat stat.
I can't say. But I'll tell it to you. Remind me tomorrow to give you this cool, neat stat, because I'm going to ask it tonight at trivia, and we have some competitors here and competitors listening, so I don't want to spill the beans, as they say. Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, joining us. Igoe, I like that shirt. Oh, by the way, did you upload that, Shirley? The
song is back.
No.
I'm just kidding.
But I do like that shirt.
Igoe looks good. That's all that matters.
I'd forgotten we loaded that clip, but I do like the shirt, and Igoe looks good. That's all that
Igoe
matters.
looks good. That's all that matters.
Why did Donnie say that yesterday, Will?
I think Jenny made the comment he needs to get a haircut. And
oh, dear.
And then he responded with that.
Igoe looks good. That's all that matters. And if you need a haircut, you can go to Igoe's house. His wife will cut it for you for a small fee.
Let's not get started on your opinions on hairdressers, because Erica might come in and kill you.
I know. Love Erica.
Love your shirt too, by the way. Good shirt. And Chandler, nice shirt as well.
Chandler looks good. That's all.
I'd say he's ugly, but his mamas might be listening.
I do like that shirt.
Thank you.
Kind of Raiders-ish a little bit.
Man. Yeah, man. The Raiders got me this, man.
Kind of like Tom Cable.
Thank you.
That's great. He kind of does.
He looks like Tom Cable. You could be Cable's boy. Hey, are you Tom Cable's boy?
I hope they...
You don't know Tom Cable? Laying some cake. Oh my God! Y'all both have those big chipmunk cheeks. You got them Cable cheeks, buddy.
I got the Cable cheeks.
Now you need to do your Tom Cable impression in the break and figure out how to do it.
I don't know how he sounds.
Tom Cable, former.
He sounds exactly how he looks.
Yeah, true. Steven, Pirates, Cougars. Let's talk a little UCF. You look at this stuff.
Pirates, Cougars. Let's talk a little UCF.
Yep. I've been saying this week that it seemed to me the Pirates had a lot of coverage sacks on Saturday night. Did you see the blitz numbers? How accurate am I when I say that?
How accurate are you?
And saying they did blitz a ton.
Yeah,
got some coverage sacks.
Mainly coverage sacks, because you don't want to. They blitzed a little bit, but you don't want to blitz a guy like Plumlee, because then if he escapes the pocket, you're just asking him to either A, run it, or B, leave your guys in conflict. So what they did mainly was play zone, and rush 3 or 4. There were times they would add on, but then like there was a play where Miles Berry blitzed the middle. He was kind of stoned, and then he wrapped back around and kind of did like a contain play. You know the old QB contain on Madden where like your guys go sit upfield.
Of course.
Like he almost pulled one of those on the stunt, and then Plumlee basically rolled right into it. So
and he drilled him. And Miles, I wanted to ask Miles about that play because he had a full head of steam going after him.
And it's rare you get a shot like that on a really athletic quarterback. So they played a really sound game. I mean, the only bust they had was on the first drive, and that's the crazy thing about football, man. If UCF completes that pass right before the Jairo Wilson pick, how different is that game? Because that's probably a touchdown. Changes momentum. Changes everything. And instead, ECU goes on to get the pick. They go up 17-0.
Can I say something about a family member of yours? Or should I not?
I don't care.
You said kind of stoned. And you know I love wordplay. And,
right.
And, you know.
Oh, I know.
And I was going to say, speaking of kind of stoned, I saw your brother today. He went to an Iron Maiden concert last night.
I saw highlights of that. I'm kind of mad that he didn't invite me.
Yeah. Y'all go to some cool shows, man.
I know.
You Igos. I'm not even, I couldn't name an Iron Maiden song, to be honest with you. I'm not an Iron Maiden guy.
But it'd be sick to see Iron Maiden.
Wow, he showed me a video of it. It looked awesome. They do a lot of stage work. They had a plane come down. He was telling me about some, like, giant Yeti thing, and some guy shot him with an American flag gun.
Good gosh.
And I was like, that sounds like a hell of a show. So anyway.
I would imagine Iron Maiden puts on a hell of a show.
Yeah. All right. Coming off the win over UCF, how about how are we looking injury-wise, Igoe? This will be the 9th game without a bye.
75% of the season without a bye.
Yeah. So Jalen Johnson, did he got in the game last week?
Got in the game, but basically got re-aggravated. So I kind of lean towards him. I would doubt he would play. If he's playing this Friday, then it's very likely. But you almost would just sit him 2 weeks and see if he responds. Emmanuel Hickman, same deal. He's missed a couple weeks now. I kind of expect him to miss this week in the bye, but I don't have any confirmation on that. Shane Calhoun could be back this week. He's been limited the past few games and then sat out UCF, and so I think there's a chance he could be back. But when he was out, the proven commodity, Aaron Jarman, got, I think, 20-plus snaps each of the past 2 weeks. By the way, top 10 highest-graded player of the week, Aaron Jarman, proven commodity. When you give him snaps, he blocks. That's what he does.
A year and 4 months to bring out that. Way to go.
And so he could see another pivotal role against the Brigham Young Cougars.
And who was the coach? Who's his position coach, Igoe?
Latrell Scott.
Was it Latrell? It was an offensive coach. I don't recall who it was. Maybe it was even Donnie K, who was like, hey, let's it might have been Latrell Scott, but like, let's give him some props here, like for what he does day in, day out, game in, game out. So Ryan Jones,
special teams as well.
Yeah, is easy to highlight with what he does athletically. Shane Calhoun's found the end zone, got some catches this year, but the proven commodity, Aaron Jarman, doing the dirty work.
He's blocking at a high level, which is what he does.
It's proven.
It's what he does.
It's proven. The proof is in the pudding.
I think he's got one target this year. He's got one catch, so 100% catch rate. So he's doing his job.
He's proven.
Is he eligible for another year?
I think he is, but I've from talking with people, I think he is kind of ready to move on.
And that leads me into Adam's point on Facebook Live. Were you going to say that?
Mm-hmm.
Good job, buddy. Adam said, I was looking at the depth chart for this week. Something I noticed is how many players could be coming back next year. Maybe only 6 or 7 seniors or starters. Wow. But you got to factor in guys that are ready to move on, maybe things like that. But
like a proven commodity like Aaron Jarman.
This might be a good bye week stuff for you, Igoe. Not to give you more work, but like looking at hey, depth chart, week 1 Michigan next year,
I mean, that's the thing is we haven't really had a chance to sit back and even I, who I follow the roster as much as possible, looking at some of the freshmen, what their redshirt status is. I've been noticing guys have been playing in a couple games here or there on special teams. Do they still have a shot to redshirt as freshmen? Or you got some true sophomores who are in that boat. They're trying to redshirt a defensive lineman or two to kind of space that class out because there's 18 sophomore defensive linemen. So that's something I'm going to dive into during the open date when I get some off time for sure, along with kind of projecting, to me, the biggest question mark next year, at least on paper, and it's kind of the same as it was going into this year, is wide receiver, because you're going to lose Winstead. What is C.J. Johnson going to do? He's played now 4 years of college football, and this is something we can talk about later in the season. But, does he look at going pro? What does Keaton Mitchell do? Jalen Johnson's got another year of eligibility beyond this one as well. But really, they're not playing any other receivers. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a question mark in terms of the depth at receiver. And then offensive line-wise, you lost Bailey Malovic, who was your projected tackle. He kind of just leaves the program. And then you brought in some transfers. How are those younger guys developing behind them? Are they going to be ready to step into starting roles next year, or are you going to have to go out again and find more transfers to plug and play?
Kind of reminds me of last year with the running backs. Like, we kept saying, you need more than 2 running backs. Well, we didn't. We had Keaton and Rajay doing all the work. This year you go into it, well, you're going to need more than 3 receivers. Well, You haven't really, because Winstead and man, CJ, nobody thought we would get this from CJ, not just production, but his stability there as a wide receiver.
He's been huge, and two, the thing that has really allowed them to get away with only playing 3 receivers is they basically use Ryan Jones and Calhoun as a extra receiver. So at times they'll move CJ outside, and essentially you're just using Ryan Jones as a third or fourth receiver on the inside, and Calhoun is even signed up in the slot a little bit. You've seen Josiah Hatfield and Kerry King get some more playing time the last couple weeks, but they haven't been targeted a ton. But, when you have 2 number 1 receivers essentially with Winstead and CJ at the level they're playing at now, it kind of lessens the need. It's the same. Jalen Johnson has had this back issue because he really, even early in that South Florida game before he re-injured his back, he was looking good then, man. He's just like a solid possession receiver, good hands, can make some plays. So you just hope, that he's able to come back this year, and hopefully he gets, he comes back next year as well with his extra year of eligibility.
Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, joining us. We saw a rocked-up guy back on the field last week. And Igoe, could Rick DeBrew go from the doghouse to the penthouse?
I should leave on that note. But good to see him back. It's like a sports radio classic.
I know, it is. I really dug deep for that one. Speaking of penthouse, I saw your brother at Stop Shop.
He's living it up.
They still sell magazines like that?
I'm going to guess no.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing of the past.
Were you used to be in there buying them?
Nah, but and I worked at a Trade Mart. We didn't have those magazines. But remember, you could walk into convenience stores and stuff would be blocked out and stuff. But they would sell dirty magazines right there in front of God and everybody.
In front of God.
What a world. What a world. Anyway.
Yeah, you can just find everything on your phone.
I know. Rick DeBrew's back.
Rick DeBrew, nice segue.
Rocked up. Speaking of. Go ahead.
He is he's a pass rusher, man. That's what he is. He's got that quick twitch ability.
Love that.
And he showed it. One of the few guys, him and Jeremy Lewis, that can just beat a double team and go make a sack. There's not a ton of those guys on the roster. So it was good to see him back. And the other thing, too, when you get ahead in a game on a UCF, they're in pass mode. You can put J.D. Lampley in. You can put Rick DeBrew in. Because at this point, their strength is just, hey, go get the quarterback. Obviously stay in your pass rush lane, keep your integrity, but that's kind of their strength right now. So if you get ahead or you get into obvious passing situations, that's when you're going to see them.
8 tackles for Jeremy Lewis. That's a lot for his position. Second leading tackler against UCF, and did get a half a sack. I'm going to say that keeps the streak going at 3 games for Jeremy Lewis. So he's playing some good ball. They are getting after the quarterback. They're forcing turnovers as well. That running play where Plumlee had it and had a first down, and then the ball just squirts out. That was a wild play right into the hands of a Pirate defender. Who was that recovered that? Jira got it.
Julius Wood forced his 3rd forced fumble of the year.
Man.
So that's the thing, man. If you're going to give up yards, which you look over the stretch going into the Memphis game, you kind of knew that the stats weren't going to look great at times because you're playing some really good offenses, and that continues this week against BYU. But you're going to have to be opportunistic, and that started against Memphis. They got the pick 6. I believe they got another pick in that game as well. You had the pick right before halftime. So you forced 6 turnovers the past 2 games, and clearly that's a big emphasis for this defense. They weren't really forcing many takeaways before that stretch.
Yep.
And the other point of it is, too, in addition to forcing 6 turnovers, the offense has not turned the ball over once in either of those 2 games. So you went from even turnover differential to +6 on the season, which kind of leads to, hey, if you win the turnover battle and you're a good football team, you're going to be in position to win most games.
Where is that nationally?
I tallied it up today. I think it's like tied for 18th or something like that.
Okay.
So,
pretty high. Good
and
stuff.
yeah, BYU I think is +4 or +2. I can't remember which they are, but they're up there too. So, I would assume you wouldn't see a ton of mistakes in the game. Jaron Hall, their quarterback's only thrown 3 picks. Holton's thrown 5 picks. Neither team has had real fumble issues. So, I think you're going to see 2 really capable offenses on Friday night. BYU, despite only scoring 14 against Liberty, they have a ton of offensive talent, and they've got some guys out, but they're receivers, and they can throw the football. They're legit, which, ECU has been vulnerable in the pass against the pass this year, so that's a little bit of a concern.
Igoe, it's kind of like a SAT question. If I recall correctly, does Holton have 2 multi-pick games? State?
Threw 2 in the first half versus State. He threw 2 against Tulane.
All right, and the Pirates have played 8 games. How many games has Holton Ahlers played without throwing a pick?
That would be 5 games.
That is correct. There you go.
That would be all 5 were wins.
Should I bring up
because the other one was against Navy.
How about that stat?
Wow.
Folks? It's pretty simple.
Mind blown.
If you're going to ask, is ECU going to win on Saturday, let me know if Holton throws a pick or not, and I'll let you know who wins.
Because you said, can I bring up the stat to consider that we talked about?
Chandler, you can do whatever the hell you want, buddy.
Thank you, bud. I appreciate it. I got a text from our good buddy Discount Larry. We'll see you there.
We'll see you there.
This was Saturday night while the 5th quarter was going on, late into the night, 11:21 p.m. He says, Chandler, hey, buddy, Discount Larry, mention this about Holton Ahlers through the air the last 2 games. 56 for 70, 615 yards, 2 touchdowns, and here's the important part of this stat line: no turnovers. And you said after I mentioned that it seems like when Holton Ahlers doesn't turn the ball over, doesn't make those stupid mistakes, Pirates win.
I can't call him stupid.
Because I'm a mean man. I'm mean.
You're mean mugging.
But you said that, and now we have gotten confirmation from one Stephen Igoe that, in fact, when he doesn't throw an interception, the Pirates have won. So that's happened 5 times this year.
ECU is 5-0, and Holton Ahlers doesn't throw a pick. I mean, that's...
Who's going to tweet that out first?
ECU is 0-3 when Holton Ahlers throws a pick.
You want to have a race?
You go for it.
You going to give it to me?
Yeah, that's
Thanks,
all you.
Steven. Appreciate it. One of my favorite things is like when an announcement's made to see who's going to get it out first. Like, I don't know, ECU, what seed they are in the NCAA baseball tournament,
yeah.
and we're all like...
got it ready to go.
But Igoe, and he's got sources, which he should, that's his job. Like, Cliff tells him what's going to happen ahead of time and all
that. Was only like 1 year. There was 1 year I told Cliff what was going to happen, and so...
How did you do that?
I had a direct line to the chair of the committee.
How about that? Good for you, Stephen.
Crazy things happen.
All right. Tell us, if you will, if you can, about the key skill guys missing for BYU. Don't they have a running back receiver out?
Yeah, Christopher Brooks is sidelined. He's their starting running back, averaging 6.1 yards per carry. And then, so their leading receiver is also out. He's like a 5'11 guy. Explosive playmaker, but I mean, in a way, he leads them in stats, but he's probably not their best receiver. Puka Nacua is their top receiver. They basically use him in like as a Curtis Samuel type role, or not Curtis Samuel.
So man,
Debo
right.
Samuel.
Oh.
They use him as Debo.
That's a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different. But Puka is about as injury prone as Curtis Samuel, so he's only played 5 games this year. But when he's on the field, he's dynamic. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns in addition to a couple of receiving touchdowns. 6'2" receiver. They also got a 6'4" guy with 4 receiving touchdowns. They also have a receiver. I can't remember his first name, but Romney. I think he's related to Mitt Romney.
Mitt's like long lost cousin.
And he's been out of the lineup, but he's supposedly coming back this week.
How long has he been there?
Like 8. Like I'm pretty sure he's 27 years old.
Yeah.
But they got dudes, man. They got an NFL tight end. Their quarterbacks can play. They just haven't been able to run the ball. The other issue, I was listening to their OC, his press conference. He basically was like, man, he was like, our defense can't get us the ball back, so we can't get into a rhythm. Like, he didn't come out and say it like that, but that's what he was.
Is he a young-looking guy?
Yeah, younger-looking guy.
I didn't watch it. I saw that. I need to check out that video.
But he was basically saying we can't run the ball because we're getting down so much. And
Sataki, I mean, there are issues, right? He's not making changes, but he's taken over. Has he always been calling the defensive plays?
Going into last week, he made the change to call plays.
Right.
And he admitted after the game that basically the former defensive coordinator has been moved to the D-line full-time, and he's calling the plays. He's making the personnel decisions. But, I mean,
it's like the first sign of trouble, or the first move when there's trouble.
So. And he's been the coordinator. The guy had been the coordinator there since, I believe, Sataki got there. And that's the crazy thing. They were really good defensively last year. They returned 11 starters, and they've been awful this year. They're giving up 50% on third down. They're not rushing the passer. And so what kind of worries me, if I'm ECU with Sataki taking over, is you feel like almost at some point they're just going to completely abandon what they do and just throw something crazy on the wall, and maybe it sticks, maybe it doesn't. So kind of the unknown there if you're East Carolina scares you a little bit, but it's also a short week, so it's not like they're going to retool the entire playbook.
Yeah.
For a non-conference game versus ECU, you wouldn't think, but who knows?
And, I mean, look, if you're a Pirate fan, you're just hoping these issues with Sataki continue to mushroom, like a mushroom cloud from Sataki. Thank you, Shirley. I know that you'll always have my back. Steven, Patrick Mason's here. You want to hang out with the Patrick segment?
Why not?
All right, cool. Do y'all get along?
Best friends, man.
Okay, good. Good to hear.
Are we taking a break?
Yeah, what you got?
Well, I'll kick myself out because guess what, folks? We have a Jessie update.
Oh, we got a Jessie update.
She is being discharged from the hospital.
Good to hear.
Getting out of the shop.
All your prayers worked.
All the prayer warriors, thank you. Thank you so much to the prayer warriors out there. I'm going to go pick her up right now.
If you're driving right now, if you could pull over and flash your lights in honor of Jessie, we'd appreciate it.
Yes, please.
All right. So you're going to go get your car now?
Yes, and I'll be back.
How are you going to get your car?
I got a ride.
Oh, okay.
So I'm run. All right, well, Chan, man, we'll see you when you get back.
Yes, and I will be back with my sweet girl.
All right, good deal. Patrick Mason joins us when we return.
Hey, are we having a party in 213 tonight?
Are we?
Be there.
You going to sit with us?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anywhere else.
I mean, I'm not going to be on the court, so might as well be up there.
I say we just roll onto the court. Who's going to stop us?
I said that earlier. I said bring the basketball that they have here in the studio, go in there and push the first contestant
Are they going to hire? They're not hiring security for this thing.
I don't want there to be any issues, but
I sure hope the security lady that's in the lower bowl isn't there, because then she wouldn't let us on the court.
That's true.
I'm not going to do anything like that, but in my honor, if y'all would like to start a ride at Minges tonight, I would really appreciate it. So just throwing that out there. And can I get in trouble for inciting a riot if that happens?
Yes.
Damn. Strike this from the record.
All right, I go in section 213 tonight.
That's fun. We're gonna have some. We're gonna have a crew up there. We'll be back with you after this.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Do you find it hard to stay healthy during the holidays? You're not alone. The secret is in all in what you eat. At Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, we have certified dietitians to provide you with accurate advice on the eating plan and lifestyle choices that you need to make to help you live well. You need more than just an internet search to be able to get a plan that fits your unique needs. Your dietitian will customize an eating plan that is specific to your goals, your budget, and your lifestyle while providing coaching along the way. Sign up today at kptonline.com.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Are my eyes playing tricks on me, or is that a jack-o'-lantern made out of pizza? That's something I want to carve up. Sink your claws into the jack-o'-lantern pizza from Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership. Savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package, too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
When I need jeans, I order online because I know exactly what I want. They have just one moving part, and if there's something wrong, I exchange them. Buying a vehicle, especially pre-owned, is way different. Lots of moving parts. You don't want to get stuck. For a worry-free purchase, visit Phelps Chevrolet. We've been here in town a very long time. You know us. You know we stand behind everything we sell. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Come get you one.
Hey, Pirate Nation, this is Brian Buck with Buck Insurance Agency. This season, when you attend your favorite sporting event, take the game day pledge. If your team is playing, win or lose, support your team to the end of the game. When you leave early, you risk missing your favorite athlete making the play of their career. When our family buys a ticket, we always plan to stay to the very end. Take the game day pledge this season with Buck Insurance Agency. Play to the end, stay to the end.
Hi, this is Parker Bunch. When I'm not hitting dingers or going viral, I'm listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour brought to you by Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Cliff.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live. Stephen Igoe here. P. Mace in the place. Patrick Mason.
Hey.
Looking purple today.
I know. I said it's a purple day today.
Y'all look good.
We didn't even coordinate it. At least not this time.
Donnie Kirkpatrick thinks at least one of you look good.
Yep.
Igoe looks good. That's all that matters.
Donnie looks good. That's all that matters.
All right. You guys were just talking about your trip to Salt Lake City coming up here. So
Yep.
When y'all go on these roadies, do you rent a car or just like Uber everywhere?
I have been Ubering, but I think renting a car is probably the way to go this time.
Yeah, same. I mean, we've actually been talking about it because usually, especially like because we went to New Orleans, and that one's pretty close together. Whereas, Provo, similar to Greenville in that if you're coming to Greenville, you're most likely going to fly into Raleigh. If you're trying to save some money, it's just a better city to stay in. So Provo, kind of similar. So we're staying in Salt Lake City, which is about 45 minutes away. So if you want to spend an Uber on a 45-minute drive to and from, you might as well just go ahead and rent a car, you know.
And I figured, like, the Uber ride after a football game, I'm not sure what that would be like at 11 o'clock or midnight, you know.
Ain't going to be cheap, I'm sure.
No.
So you didn't go last time, Steven?
In 15, no, I didn't. I remember vividly covering that game on TV, though, because I remember a lot about it. It was a night game. I can't remember if that was a Saturday night or a weeknight, but I remember Giannis Bowden recovering the punt block in the end zone. I remember it being a good start for ECU.
Do I remember correctly, we also had a punt blocked?
Yes, later on in the game, they blocked a punt. And it was a crazy game, man. High scoring. By the end of it, BYU's quarterback was, like, limping and still throwing for, like, 500 yards against ECU.
Tanner
Mangum. It was a crazy game. They scored late, I want to say with, like, a minute or less than a minute to take the lead for good. And then Blake Kemp, who was like the most average quarterback in ECU history, randomly had a huge game. So it was just a wild game.
Your first trip out there, Patrick?
Yeah, this will be my first time. And I think it's kind of neat because I don't know how many times you go to Utah. I mean, I'm not like a huge skier or anything. Like, I feel like that's what is attributed to Utah. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, what else you do out there?
Right. Like, other than like going to the mountains or like doing something like that, like why go to Utah unless you're like a Jazz fan or from the area?
Yeah.
So and ECU is, I don't see them renewing this series with BYU anytime soon, especially with BYU going to the Big 12. So my company, they basically said you could go to Cincinnati or BYU on our dime, and I was like, I'll definitely go to BYU. If I want to travel to Cincinnati, I can foot that bill on my own, but I'll take the shot to go to BYU.
That's the right decision.
Let's get a quick Iowa update. Hawkeyes losing 54-10 to Ohio State. And I guess Kirk Ferentz was responding to an article at the press conference this week. And he has a lot of respect for guys like you, Patrick, media folks, writers. He said, quote, "The good thing about that, it dawned on me coming home. I said, man, as bad as today was, it could have been worse because I could have been that guy. I had his job and had to act like he did. It could have been a hell of a lot worse, right? Things aren't all bad." So, yeah, man, look, good for Kirk Ferentz. At least he's not you, Patrick.
I don't know. He's missing out. I'm telling you. I don't know.
You're having a blast.
He could be going to Utah too, man.
That's right. Yeah, he's stuck, playing on or coaching.
He's stuck in damn Iowa.
Yeah, it's funny. Me and Steven were actually texting about this exact story yesterday. And yeah, I mean, Kirk Ferentz is just he's kind of lost control of this whole situation here. It's not a good look for him for sure.
You got to be like pretty tone deaf to say that literally to a room full of reporters. Like that's not gonna win you over many future articles. And I just saw like national writers piling on like basically why say this, especially when your son is the offensive coordinator of the worst offense in college football.
Well, I guess he's earned it now where he pretty much thinks he can say whatever he wants. Like it felt like before this year, he was one of those Bill Snyder, Bobby Bowden, like not wins. Well, maybe. I mean, he's up there in wins, but where he could kind of decide when he wants to go. Frank Beamer.
Yeah, he is a made man at Iowa, and he essentially is that athletic department head. Like he controls anything.
After this year, where they're like the laughingstock offensively of the college football world, and now you got this, like, will he be forced out, or do you think it's still the same? Like he decides when he goes.
I still think he decides. That's kind of my read on it. But I think a change has to come. Like I think his son is going to be out, but he's the one who has to make that call. Like the athletic director is saying, "Hey, Kirk, you do your thing." It's really a weird situation, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably one of those, and there's probably college football scenarios like this around the country where the football coach is more important than the AD, and instead of the AD giving the orders, he gives the orders, pretty much.
And that's how it's going down there, and it's kind of just sad to see because it is just his son, and that's really the big hang-up, and he probably doesn't want to make Thanksgiving awkward or something, but I mean it's really bad. It's gotten to a bad spot.
Now that I mention that, do you think the majority of coaches are ahead of their ADs in college football? Like at most of the Power 5 schools, they are, right?
Probably.
And obviously the AD can make the move,
right?
But as far as recognizable and kind of the person who really sells your athletic department, I mean, I definitely think the head coach is kind of the face of it for sure. And certainly in a guy, I mean, like just growing up watching college football, like Kirk Ferentz has been there like since I started watching college football. Like you kind of associate Iowa with him. And so, and same thing with Alabama. Like Nick Saban probably runs that athletic department.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
easy.
I don't know, like Jay Batt getting a job for being a part of Alabama's athletic department is just hilarious to me because for several reasons. But because what is he doing? Like, how easy is it to sell Alabama?
Yeah,
right.
Oh, that's like when Saban brings in those fired coaches like Bill O'Brien and Sark. Kiffin,
Tuscaloosa Rehab.
Yeah. It is like a rehab facility for coaches, and they go in and look amazing, kind of like a Nathaniel Hackett when you coach Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, he took Blake Bortles to the AFC Championship game as OC. So.
Igoe sent an awesome text. I got to give you credit for that one on Sunday. That, hey, look at the Packers, man. What's holding them back? They don't have Nathaniel Hackett anymore.
That's true. They're a lost cause without him.
I'm gonna say Devontae Adams is a bigger reason, but you know,
I mean, maybe a small role.
Are you ready to walk back some of your claims this year that the Broncos are better than the Commanders,
100%.
Panthers?
I'm ready to walk back everything. I'm ready
marching backward.
I am never.
How about the Bears? Bears are better.
100%. Every team is better than the Broncos.
It is crazy, man.
You know, the saddest thing is that the Broncos absolutely suck, but all these teams they've lost to have barely beaten them, which proves the NFL as a whole is just pathetic. Honestly.
Man, I had major deja vu Sunday watching the Broncos down 16-9. Was that the score?
Yeah.
Late fourth quarter. I was like, holy crap. Remember that Tebow year?
Yeah.
Where at 7:05 every Sunday night, they were down, and one of the teams had single digits, usually Denver.
It was always like 13-9.
Yeah, and Tebow would have one drive all game, and it would come at the end. That was fun for about 2 months, Igoe.
That was the most fun outside the Super Bowl year, where they won it with Peyton, that I've had. I mean, easily they were awful. Their defense was amazing, but legitimately, like, Tebow could not complete a fourth pass all game.
Oh, my goodness.
And, like, it would be the 2-minute drill, and he would just scramble around and heave one up.
Oh, yeah. He'd have a 12-yard run and then a Demarius catch and run and then a 13-yard. Like, it was crazy.
You don't want flashbacks to Tim Tebow. That's not ideal.
And if you watch the Bears this year, it's pretty much similar, where they can't do anything most of the game, but what they did the other night, I got to give them credit. They were great the other night.
Justin Fields' athleticism is really good, but he still can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
but
they've had more wins than I thought they'd get.
You got to figure out a way. I was saying if they had like a Kyle Shanahan or something, compared it to like RG3's rookie year, where everything they did worked. Like if they could somehow get that offense around Fields, but you got to be able to throw it a little bit in the NFL. That's the problem.
Well, that's the amazing thing that they put up that many points on the Patriots, with Belichick known as this defensive guru, and you think that he would shut down Fields in that offense, but.
And I saw somebody on Twitter say we need one more completion from Fields for a prop.
Oh no!
And I looked at it, and he was at 13. I don't think he had more than 13 completions, did he?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
but the Bears got the best rushing offense in the league, which is really surprising. But I guess that's how they're getting it done. And I think it was really weird on Monday where it was a weird game where everyone had the Patriots winning that game. Like if you looked everywhere, no one was picking the Bears, and it just shows you how the NFL is so weird. Where the exact opposite can happen.
It's just, I used to really enjoy, maybe it's because the Broncos stink so bad, but I used to really enjoy watching random games. But now, unless it's like Chiefs Bills or something, like I can't sit down and watch a random game. It's just not a great product right now.
They're bad, and I don't know what it is. Yeah. Has the defense finally caught up to this wide open offense stuff?
Yeah, it feels like it, man. Because like Tom Brady struggling this much, and Aaron Rodgers even without Devontae Adams, like it feels like maybe the NFL has finally figured out how to defend guys like Brady and Rodgers, but now you got Josh Allen and others and Mahomes, still scrambling, still making things happen to an extent. So, yeah, I don't know. They certainly have figured out how to defend Russell Wilson, though.
Yeah, Mike P. wanted to bring that up.
Did y'all see that?
He said, ask Igoe, will he be doing high knees in the airplane on the cross-country flight?
I'm off the Russell Wilson bandwagon after that, man. You can't be doing 4 hours of high knees. No. On an 8-hour flight.
Hey, can you imagine how annoying that guy is?
Yeah, just walking up and down the aisle or something.
Like imagine it's like Jerry Jeudy trying to sleep and the Russell Wilson sitting there like doing high knees or butt kicks or something beside him. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, just let it. Like, I can understand 5-10 minutes on an 8-hour flight, but 4 hours? What are we doing?
People are coming after him too from all corners, even former players that he's won a Super Bowl with. They're like, "What is he doing?" Like, it doesn't seem like a genuine dude at all.
No, everything seems so planned.
Yeah, now that he's failing or having struggles, it's that much easier to go after him.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and he's my fantasy quarterback, so things are going great.
Best
double whammy.
Best quarterback in this room we root for is probably Taylor Heineke at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
All right,
it's a sad group either way.
It is very sad.
Yeah, we bottom 3, man.
How about Matt Ryan? Is 4th in the league in passing yards. He's benched for the entire season. What happened there?
I saw that headline and I was like, "What is going on?"
I know.
I mean, they said you're done.
He looked awful.
He also leads the league in turnovers, but
the Jameis Winston turn.
Yeah. I mean, he had a chance for a 30-30 season, like Jameis did.
I love to
So
see
who
that.
is even starting for them now?
Sam Ehlinger.
Wow.
Some guy.
Ehlinger versus Heineke, which is to your point, Igoe.
It's just,
why would you stop on that random game?
Like, honestly, like, there's no.
No.
Like, I used to want to watch the Packers, and now I don't.
God,
even
they
watch
are
the Packers
tough to
now.
watch,
Like,
man.
it's just like there's 3 teams.
The Bucks,
watch.
forget about it. Why would you want to watch that crap fest?
Even the Chargers are.
The Chargers are terrible.
Yeah.
I watched them. Who'd they play Monday night?
Denver.
And that was a brutal game.
Herbert wouldn't throw the ball over 5 yards. He was scared. I was like, what are we doing?
And he's the one who's slinging it everywhere, so I don't know what the heck's
A
going on.
lot of Herbert backlash coming in, too, that we crowned him way
Well,
too
yeah,
early.
Chargers
I think he's a talented quarterback.
He's talented, but the Chargers will always flop.
Yeah.
That's just what they do.
All right. There's your...
Move cities, but you can't get away from the Chargers.
Yeah. Maybe they should have changed names.
Yeah.
With the city move.
They should have. Just go all in.
L.A. Raiders.
Couldn't get rid of the
And then make Vegas change their name.
powder blue unis, though.
Their unis are sweet. Even their dark blues are sweet. So, all right, you need to go.
Yep,
Sorry,
get out of here.
We kept you too late.
No, you're good.
Patrick, one more segment with you.
Yep.
All right, we'll do that. Wrap up hour number 2 with P. Mace when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Stephen, we'll talk to you on the phone on Friday.
Let's do it.
All right, thank you, sir. We'll be back with you. More to go after this.
Here today with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. Jeff, how's the service department?
Service is going great. Like I told you before, 2022 is the year of the customer. We've been voted #1 dealership in Greenville for 3 years in a row, and there's a reason why. For service, we still offer free pickup and drop-off, so we're trying to make it super convenient for the customer. And right now, our customers are repairing their vehicles more than ever.
How can people make a service appointment?
They can go to brownwood.net or dial 355-6080.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night along with football. Monday is open mic night the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck. When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, you can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville has a brand new updated menu. Open from 4 to 9 Tuesday through Saturday and 11 to 9 on Sundays, Familia has a variety of pizza combinations and classic Italian dishes that are sure to tackle your taste buds. Enjoy Thirsty Thursdays with $3 drafts with several local brews on tap. And who doesn't love brunch? Familia has Sunday brunch from 11 to 2. Follow Familia on social media for their pizza of the week for just $12. Visit online at familianc.com. Familia, that's Italian for family.
Hey Pirate fans, this is head coach Mike Houston. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been taking care of our athletes here at East Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or if it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the folks who have been taking care of me and many of our fans in Pirate Nation, or visit them online at orthopedicseast.com. Go Pirates!
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
This is Stephen Igoe, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour brought to you by Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese, biscuits, and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all of you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Thank you, Shirley Rose. CJ Schaefer here. Chandler on the way to get Jesse. My pin's falling down. Patrick Mason's here.
I am.
Patrick, we've got some audio from Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell. What did you ask the coordinators? What did you want to know when you talked to them yesterday?
I'm pretty sure I asked Donnie about just if he could see anything in this offense that could kind of lead to some future success, like if they unlocked anything. Just because, they've been playing well lately, and it seems weird when they have these hiccup games, and it just doesn't seem like it meshes with, what's actually going on with the roster. Everything's pretty talented, and I think if they play well, I mean, it seems silly, but if they play well, they look awesome, right? So I'm just curious if they can kind of just keep this going, if they figured anything out. And, I mean, it sounds like they're, being able to build on this, and I guess we'll see. But it'll be interesting, because they are very, when they look good, they're really good.
It's volatile.
Thank you.
And we've watched sports long enough to know too that the team's lost 3 in a row. Team looks great winning 2 in a row. That doesn't mean we know the outcome of this game, because you factor in a lot of stuff. How much do you factor in going on the road? I mean, these last 2 wins over good teams have come at home. You've had your crowd behind you. Now you're in a different atmosphere. It makes me a little nervous if I'm a Pirate fan.
And I think it should, because I think the last time they went on the road, we saw what happened at Tulane. That was just not a good performance at all, right from the start. Then obviously you can go to South Florida, but I always wonder if that's just a product of South Florida being South Florida.
Yeah, and remind us of the atmosphere at Tulane. Wasn't much of one? Or?
It really wasn't much of one. I mean, it felt more like a road game than South Florida did, but there really wasn't that many fans.
But this will be the first real like road environment, right? And I talked to Bryce Williams, who went to Provo in 2015. He said he'd much rather have it where there's 50, 60, 70, however many, every thousand, like on you, booing you, against you, than having 1,000 people.
That makes sense,
you know?
right? Because like I guess if everyone's going after you, you guys can band together and say, "Hey guys, let's we're against everyone else." You can kind of have that mentality. But if you go to these other spots where it's really sporadic crowds, and it just almost feels like you're in a glorified scrimmage sometimes, and I don't know. I guess really there's no excuse to not kind of bring some energy, but it might be hard to manufacture some energy sometimes.
Yeah. Patrick Mason joining us. He'll be there. We'll lob you a phone call during the Bud Light pregame tailgate Friday. When you plan on getting back?
I'll come back Saturday afternoon.
So you don't have to. You're not like the team where you go back that night and get back at 6 a.m.
No way. That sounds brutal, honestly.
Yeah. And how about Patrick? What are you gonna do next weekend?
Man, I gotta do something fun, right? It's the first weekend without football in months.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sit down and watch football all day.
Yeah. Right, yeah, you can't, totally divorce yourself.
So my wife,
football.
Speaking of divorce, I'm sure I'll have some stuff to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to
being home for the first time in
well, we have a lot of Saturdays off coming.
We got 3 Saturdays in a row off. Now, for you'll be traveling 2 of them, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Cincinnati, I'm going to try to get out of there pretty quick.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Utah should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see that atmosphere there. I've heard all these stories of BYU fans getting up for the game, and I guess they don't do much tailgating beforehand, but they just kind of show up.
They show up,
all lathered up, ready to go,
and get out.
Yeah.
And Jeff says like there's not much atmosphere pregame and stuff, and then the place just fills up, and then he says he wraps up his postgame show and the parking lot's empty, and it's almost like it's eerie almost.
Yeah,
he says.
It's odd, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. Key things you're looking at for this weekend for East Carolina to succeed. What do they need to do?
Probably the same as what they did last week. Just I think running the football. Like if Keaton Mitchell can continue to just be Keaton Mitchell, I think that really keeps the offense on pace and on schedule. When he just has that threat of breaking off a 10, 15-yard run, I think it does a lot for the defense. The thing I've noticed about BYU, we've heard about they're really big, but I think they're just really tall everywhere. Like the receivers are 6'4". Like we talked to Malik Fleming this week about giving up essentially half a foot to some of these receivers, and he was saying he's ready for the challenge. That's kind of what you have to expect if you want to play at the next level. But I think it's going to be like a physical challenge for East Carolina. BYU is missing their leading receiver and runner, so I guess not everyone's coming back this week, but it'll still be a challenge. Like the tackles, I think 6'8", on the ends. Like it's just big boys that you gotta. I think it'll be a technique sort of game this week versus maybe just physical.
And speaking of the run, I don't know if it's because of this, but it sure seems like they're throwing more on first down. I don't know if that's opening up running lanes, later in the game or in different situations, but it really feels like, and we talked about this too, right? Like, yeah, you do what the defense gives you, but be aggressive. You be the aggressor. It feels like ECU's done that the last 2 games, right?
Yeah, and I think Donnie even might have mentioned it yesterday where, you're the one with the ball. Like, you can dictate some things, too. You don't always have to say, oh, man, here's what the defense is doing. How do we figure this out? Like, and especially like you said, if you can throw on first down and if you get a completion, like, you're just already on schedule. And I think if you can do that, make some quick, easy passes, that just opens up everything. And, yeah, they're actually dictating what they want to do, and I think that's what we saw the past couple of weeks.
Patrick, thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you coming up Friday on the Bud Light pregame tailgate.
I'll be there.
Check out his work on the pages of the Daily Reflector online, reflector.com. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles, when we return. And also in Hour 3, we will talk to, this is a little different, Ben Chase. Ben Chase has been to 34 college football stadiums this year. He plans on attending 71 college football games. His next one is in Pullman, Washington, Thursday night, and then Friday night he'll be in Provo, Utah for ECU and BYU, and we will talk to Ben about his journey. So we got that coming up in Hour 3 as well. All that and a giveaway is ahead. More Pirate Radio Live after this.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
My name is Gary Weaver. I'm running for sheriff of Pitt County because I'm tired of seeing our community destroyed by illegal drugs. As sheriff, I will use an aggressive two-pronged strategy. First, I will recruit the best and the brightest to work the streets to curb the sale of narcotics. Second, I will crack down on gangs and suppliers pushing methamphetamine, heroin, and fentanyl into our county. Just being good isn't good enough. We have to be the best. As sheriff, I won't stop until our county is safe from drugs. Vote Gary Weaver for Pitt County Sheriff.
Paid for by the committee to elect Gary Weaver Sheriff.
Beauty Bar Medi Spa wants to know if you are ready to fall into beauty October 7th through the 14th. All services and products will be on sale. Botox, filler, painless laser hair removal, facials, RF microneedling, rejuvenating laser treatments to treat brown spots, wrinkles, texture, veins, and skin tightening. And now, the only facility in the area to offer non-surgical under-eye fat pad treatments. BeautyBarMedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Go Pirates!
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hungry for game day, Pirate Nation? Take advantage of the Warren's Hot Dogs tailgate special of 10 or more hot dogs for only $1.50 each. And the best part, this special is available every day. Just call ahead and Warren's will have your order ready to go. Hungry for breakfast? Warren's Hot Dogs in Chocowinity opens at 5 a.m. with cheese biscuits, chicken biscuits, sausage dogs, and more. Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers, or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Go Pirates!
Take a hit from a 300-pound linebacker, and you better be wearing pads. Take a hit on the road, and you better have good auto coverage. When you've got North Carolina Farm Bureau Auto Insurance, you've got the best local agents ready to help you bounce back. If you don't, well, you'll probably play football without a helmet, too. In Pitt County, call Brandon Manning or Randy Daniels at 252-756-3007. North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina Incorporated. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. An independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville is the perfect place to get all your amigos together for some Mexican food, fun, and football. Chico's has been a game day tradition for Pirate football fans for over 30 years. Whether the game is home or away, make it a Chico's Day for some great specials and the best chips and salsa in town. Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Go Pirates!
Hi, Pirate Nation. This is Kyle Gaines from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Are you ready for fall? Because we are with our fall savings event. Also, are you tired of other dealers marking up their vehicle over MSRP? Don't worry, because at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we don't do that. Come work with the best salesman in Beaufort County, Stephen Tyson, voted by Washington Daily News. Have the pleasure of working with the best sales staff in Eastern North Carolina during our fall savings event. We have a vehicle for every need. Come check out the all-new design Jeep Grand Cherokee and more. And remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Live well, move more, and hurt less with Kinetic Physical Therapy. If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy can help you get back on track track and live well. Kinetic has a nationally certified therapist for physical, occupational, speech, and massage therapy, all in a state-of-the-art facility on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Visit kineticptgreenville.com for more information. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All good?
Yeah, I don't know. Arlington Boulevard just tripped me up for some reason today.
You got dogs howling across eastern North Carolina. Shirley Rhodes is here. CJ Schaefer is here. Chandler, hopefully, is in Jesse. His Jeep, driving it back to the studio.
I was like, please don't make it too much of a dramatic pause there.
We need context. I had to add some context. All right, let's visit with the voice, Jeff Charles, who I just remembered we recorded this earlier today, Shirley.
Yes.
And we're going to play this as if I am bringing it back into the show. So hit it right now. All right, welcome back into Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. We will welcome in the voice, Jeff Charles, before he heads out of town to see East Carolina take on BYU. Jeff, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Clip, and you're right. Ready to take off about 1:45 tomorrow afternoon. It's a 4-hour flight through 2 different time zones. And then when you get there, it's going to be about 18 degrees on Thursday night. But we're looking forward to it. It's always fun to go out to Provo, Utah, and play BYU. This will be my 3rd trip out there. Of course, the Pirates went out there in 2015. Had a really good game against BYU. Blake Kemp, you may remember, Clip, was the quarterback, and the Pirates lost that one by 7 points, 45-38. But East Carolina had a chance in that one. And then in another life, years and years ago, I did a basketball game at the Marriott Center at BYU. So this will be trip number 3. Always enjoy the people there, seeing a different culture. The folks out there are extremely nice, and the stadium is beautiful, and it's also very, very clean. It is immaculate. All their facilities are immaculate. Real quick story here, Clip. I remember when I went out there years ago with Virginia Tech for a basketball game, the guys that I was working with at the time, we all played a lot of basketball. And so we went over to the facility at BYU, and we asked them if we could use the gym and the weight room and those kinds of things. And the folks there were very, very nice, and they said, sure. They said, we only have one requirement. You have to wear a BYU T-shirt and shorts while you're in the facility. And we brought our own clothes in, our own gym bags in, so we said, hey, that's fine. We'll wear your stuff. And so after we got all sweaty and had a good workout in, we just threw them in the wash and walked out the door. It's the best workout we ever had.
There you go. Gotta look the part when you're there, and good stuff. Jeff, we've talked a little bit about, and Coach Houston was asked about elevation and altitude, and is that a factor or not? And we had Bryce Williams on yesterday, and he played in that 2015 game, and he said he didn't feel like he was lacking oxygen or anything. He said the one thing he did notice was how dry it was. And he said you take a squirt of water on the sideline, you run in, and by the time you're in the huddle, you got cottonmouth, and you need. So he said that affected him. But do you notice anything like that when you go out there with the different altitudes and things?
Yeah, I do, Clip, and I think Bryce pretty much hit the nail on the head. I don't notice a whole lot as far as breathing is concerned, but you're right, it is extremely dry, and you do get thirsty in a hurry. I wasn't in Provo or Salt Lake City for a long extended time, but I was in Durango, Colorado, as you know, for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And that was exactly the same kind of feeling out there. That's in the San Juan Mountains in Durango. And that is a place that's extremely dry. I'll tell you one thing. We talk about how cold it's going to be, and 18 degrees or 20 degrees is cold. I don't care where you are. But it's a different kind of cold than it is if it would be 18 degrees in Minnesota. It just feels different. And I remember an extended period of time when I was in Colorado for 3 weeks. During the day, it would be in the 40s, and there would be snow everywhere. But I can remember walking out and walking around actually in a short sleeve shirt at 45 degrees, and I really wasn't that cold. So it's a different kind of cold, and we'll see how the Pirates adapt to that. It's not going to be a cold, I don't think, like the Pirates have played in Cincinnati or in Philadelphia when they've played Temple a couple of years ago when it was really, really cold. It's going to be cold, but it's a different feeling. It really is a different feeling.
Speaking of weather, temperatures, how it affects the game, I was shocked the other night. Someone sent me a picture of it. during the game of the two big, industrial-sized heaters that UCF had on their bench. And did you and Kevin pick up that during the game, Jeff? And it's just crazy. It wasn't that cold, but, man, I guess for those Florida boys, it was certainly different than what they've been playing in, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I did not see it during the game because we're located behind the Pirate bench, and I don't really see a whole lot on the other sideline. But I did see the different websites that had that posted on them, and I was kind of surprised because what was it, 63 degrees, and those guys had the heat out. So I'm not really sure about that. I don't know about heaters for the Pirates in the game on Friday night or not. I would guess there will be some. But, it's a big undertaking, Clip, to bring a football team, 2 time zones away and 1,600 miles away. And I don't think we ever give enough credit. And I try to do this on our network broadcasts. But there are a lot of unsung heroes with the college football program. How about the guys who drive the 18-wheeler from Greenville, North Carolina to Provo, Utah with all of that equipment? It's amazing. They used to drive that thing out to El Paso.
Yeah.
It was 2,100 miles out to El Paso, you may remember. And I think this is like 1,700 miles out to Provo. And the guys left on Monday with the equipment truck. How about those guys? Let's give them a big pat on the back and a big bear hug, because I'll tell you what, that is some job to drive that thing all the way out there and back. There are 2 guys, and they trade off, but still, that is quite a job, and hats off to those guys. They do a terrific job.
At 11:01 earlier today, there was a picture tweeted out, and I don't know who this person is, but they're on the trip and on the trips with these giant haulers here, and it says the Queen Anne anchor has been dropped in Provo, Utah at the hotel. So he said a nice smooth ride. Looking forward to seeing the boys arrive on Thursday.
So they're already there.
So they are there. And they were actually, for this particular trip, I know people were tracking, I just saw that, tracking the trip itself, and you got some pictures here from the Middle America, Jeff, and made the whole trip out there. So good stuff.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. And I don't know exactly how they do it. I am assuming now with 2 drivers, one guy drives and the other guy sleeps, and then vice versa. So they probably don't stop very often, if at all, just for gas and maybe something to eat. But I don't think they stay at a hotel on the way out. So they just keep rolling, and it's a long, long way out there. So, again, we appreciate so much their efforts.
And, boy, that takes up – so they head right back after the game, I would assume.
They do.
And get here. And then, luckily not – if there's back-to-back road games, that's a hassle right there, Jeff.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That is really tough. Of course, they'll have a chance, like we all will, to catch our breath next week with the open date. But, again, I can remember so many times being in El Paso with those guys, and – they're loading up the truck, and it's basically like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, and they're starting out then to go 2,100 miles from El Paso to Greenville, North Carolina. So it's tough duty.
And Jeff asked Brian Bailey the other day what time is he expecting to be back in Greenville, and he said 6 a.m. Saturday morning. Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right to me. That's what I'm thinking, too, about 6. I think that's about the way it was the last time the Pirates went out there in 2015. Hopefully we'll get a tailwind on the way back. Clip, it's 4 hours right about on the money going out there on Thursday, maybe 3.5 coming back, I'm hoping. I think everybody is. Nobody's really looking forward to that long of a flight, but it is what it is. So I've got a good book, and we'll see if we can get through it.
What you reading, Jeff?
It's a book by John Gresham that I'll be honest with you. Cy Seymour gave it to me about 2 weeks ago. He says, you need to read this book. And I haven't even opened it up yet, but it's a John Gresham book, and that's going to be my entertainment on the flight on the way out.
How do you join the Pirate Book Club with you and Cy? That sounds like a great company right there, Jeff.
It's probably for small minds, as a matter of fact, Clip. I don't know if there's anything too strenuous there in the reading department, but I'm looking forward to it. And I usually try and read something on the plane on the way out. A lot of people, have their laptops and they're watching movies or whatever, but you have to find a way to kind of pass the time. And believe me, you've probably heard this from Bailey and other folks. That plane is jam-packed with human beings, and those seats are not that big. So it's scrunch time when you get on that airplane and head out on these charters.
Jeff Charles joining us will be on the call coming up Friday night lights, East Carolina and BYU, and the Pirates coming off their best performance of the season and what we're calling the best win in the Mike Houston era, Jeff. I mean, they just looked dominant the other night against UCF. And even at halftime, I looked at the stats, and UCF was able to kick that field goal right before the half, and then they come out, they score, and you were kind of nervous then. But, man, outside of that little part of the game, kind of the middle eight, as Donnie K and coaches like to call it, I mean, East Carolina was in control of that football game.
You're right, Clip. Absolute domination. And when UCF came out and scored, as you mentioned, to start the second half, the Pirates came right back and answered.
Yeah.
And really, from that point on, it was basically over. And that was one of the best games I've seen ECU play in a long, long time. Skip Holtz, as you may know, was back here this past week, and it reminded me of the game the Pirates played and beat West Virginia when I think they were number 8 in the country, and the Pirates totally dominated that game. And this past week, this was the same thing against a really good quality opponent in UCF. I think coaches dream about games like that where the offense executes so well, the defense plays great, special teams play very well. And it was just one of those nights. If you could bottle that, Clip, and just have that kind of effort and that kind of execution game after game after game, you wouldn't lose many. But as we all know, it doesn't happen. Every game is a new adventure. But, boy, that performance last week, hats off to the players and the coaches. The game plan was great, and the players executed the game plan to perfection. Just doesn't happen very often, but it happened last week, and the guys played great.
And, man, it's fun to be there when the defense is flying around, forcing turnovers. And thought about this. I'll get your take on it, Jeff, watching the game from your perspective. It looked like East Carolina didn't blitz a whole lot. They had some coverage sacks and some good coverage down the field, which allowed their defense to get to the quarterback, John Rice Plumlee. I mean, what did you notice on the defense that made them play so well?
Well, I just noticed they were swarming all over the place, and they kept running guys in and out, and that's what they do with this defense. It is so deep, especially up front in the defensive line. They rotate 12, 13 guys up there, and what they've been able to do, Clip, here, really, it's only been the last 3 games, the last 3 weeks, they've been able to get so much more pressure on the opposing quarterback than they did earlier in the season. I can remember in the sack stats, the Pirates were down the list, even in the American, and now you look up, and of course they're right there close to the top. So that has been a big part of why this defense is playing better now. All season long, as you know, they've been really good against the run. The problem has been at times with pass coverage and pass defense, but you know, that's going to happen in this league because you've got so many high-powered offenses and you've got so many good quarterbacks, and that's going to be the case again Friday night with BYU because this guy, Jaron Hall, he's a really good quarterback, and it seems like every week we sit here and we talk about quality quarterbacks the Pirates are playing against, and many of them are dual threats. Many of them are both runners and passers, and this guy is that as well, and he's a really good athlete, just like Plumlee was last week. So there's never a let-up, it doesn't seem, and you have to bring your A-game defensively each and every time out, and what a great job Blake Harrell has done. He's done a terrific job as the defensive coordinator here. Now in his 3rd year, he's got his system in place, and the kids play really hard for him. They really like Coach Harrell. They really sell out for him, and it's a fun defense to play in. So it's a lot of fun to watch ECU play defense again.
And, Jeff, we're facing some good quarterbacks. We got a good quarterback. The way Holton Ahlers has been spinning it the last 2 games, he has put up some eye-popping numbers and turnover-free numbers, maybe the most important thing, Jeff. But this thing is clicking right now, and Holton's feeling good, and you just hope that can continue when they take on the Cougars coming up.
No doubt about it. He is at 70% for the first time in his career this late in the season, Clip, and we have talked about this before on your show, the fact that Holton was, around 60 and maybe 62, 63. Every year his completion percentage has gone up just a little bit, but now he's at 70%. And when you go 30 of 36 like he did last week, you're going to get a nice jump. But anytime a quarterback is throwing 70%, that's big time, and that's what Holton has been able to do. And he's having a terrific final year for the Pirates, and I'm so happy for him. You know him well. I know him well. We've known him for a long time, and he's just a terrific quality young man, and it's just so great to see him having some success and seeing the team playing well. Just very, very happy for Holton, and just hope he can continue here to close it out and put some more wins on the board.
Jeff Charles joining us. East Carolina going out of conference Pirates this week will be back in AAC play in a couple weeks, a couple of Fridays from now, when they take on the Cincinnati Bearcats. Showdown in Orlando this weekend. Maybe a little light off that with UCF losing to ECU, but Cincinnati at UCF 3:30 on ESPN, Jeff, and we'll see if the line is a pick 'em. How about that? But UCF can try to knock off Cincinnati for the first time they would lose in the AAC in multiple years, right?
Yeah, no doubt about that. And it will be interesting to see how UCF bounces back from what I'm sure they felt was a disappointing performance against the Pirates. And Clip, I've watched Cincinnati play 2 or 3 times this year. And you can't lose 9 NFL draft picks, and they had 9 of them last year, especially at this level of football, and be the same. This is not the same Cincinnati team that we saw dominate people and get to the Final Four in football, if you will, last year. So they're not quite the same. They're still very good, and they're still very good at home, and we'll talk a lot more about that in a couple of weeks. But unless you're in Alabama, Ohio State, or Georgia where you can't reload, you might lose 8, 9, 10 players in the NFL draft and be able to come back the next year with almost the same quality of player. At this level of football, I don't know how you replace 9 NFL draft picks in the American. And I think that Cincinnati is still very good, but I don't know if they're as good as they were last year.
6-1 right now. That only loss coming, I believe, week 1 when they went down and lost to Arkansas, but they got a challenge on their hands. UCF going to be angry and ready to bounce back. That's a big one coming up on Saturday. World Series beginning on Friday, Jeff, and we've talked about it. You do your preseason predictions every year. This year you picked the Phillies to win the NL East, and I kind of gave you the side eye on that. And they didn't win the East. They were in a battle for the wild card with the Brewers. They got in, and man, they have been red hot, and the atmospheres there at Citizen Bank Park have been incredible in the postseason. They'll try to keep riding that against an Astros team, Jeff, that has not lost in the postseason.
It's amazing. The Astros are on a roll. Philadelphia is on a roll, so it's going to be a great World Series. The Astros are just so good at home. It's going to be tough for Philadelphia to go in there and win games. I really believe that. And I think sentimentally, Clip, a lot of people are pulling for Dusty Baker and for him to get his first World Series championship. He's been such a great manager and a great person all of these years representing whatever team that he has managed, and he's yet to get that World Series championship. So I think a lot of people are pulling for him, but Philadelphia is a great story, and Bryce Harper, he's such a great player. He's just put that Philadelphia ball club on his back, and they've got the hammers too at the top of the rotation, just like the Astros do. So it'll be interesting to see what happens offensively in this series. And Clip, how many times have you seen it? And we were talking about this the other day. The Yankees have all those sluggers and all those great hitters, and oftentimes in a short series, and you've seen it for years and years, great pitching will stop great hitting almost every time. And that's what happened with the Yankees, and they ran into a buzzsaw with the Astros, and they just weren't able to hit. The Astros pitching was just so good. And Justin Verlander, my goodness, the guy's now 39 years old. And look what he is doing. He's still throwing 98, 99 mile-an-hour BBs out there, and his breaking stuff is great, and he's having just a terrific year. So you like to see that. I remember back in the day when he was pitching at Old Dominion against ECU. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the World Series is going to be good. Do you have, the marquee teams? Do you have the Dodgers against the Yankees or the Red Sox in the World Series? No, but you've got, I think, no question right now, at least these two teams are playing the best of any team in baseball.
And here's a trivia question for the future, Jeff. How many managers how many teams have fired their manager, had an interim take them to the World Series and potentially win? And the Phillies are in that mix right now with Rob Thompson, who for a while I thought was former Giants second baseman Robbie Thompson, but they're two different people. In fact, I'm looking at Rob's Wikipedia page right now, Jeff, and he was a catcher and third baseman for the Tigers organization, actually, but I'm not familiar with him. I know Robbie. I don't know Rob.
Yeah, Rob Thompson, and I looked him up the other day as well, Clip. He has been a lifer in baseball, and he's spent a lot of time in the New York Yankees organization. In fact, He thought he was going to get the Yankees job when Aaron Boone was hired as the Yankees manager. He's had a long-time relationship with the Steinbrenner family, and he's been a guy that has been very well respected for so many years, and he's done like every job in baseball. You know, he started in the minor leagues, and he's worked in minor league baseball. Then he's been a coach, you know, in Major League Baseball, and at every stop he has made, I think the one common denominator is that every organization he's worked for and all the players that have played for him love the guy. They just say he's just such a good person and such a good guy to play for. And he's very understated, as you can see in these interviews. He doesn't have a whole lot to say, but the players love him. The organizations he works for love him. And he took over for Joe Girardi, and the thing was kind of stuck in the mud, and the next thing you know, they start to play a little bit better, and they catch fire in September, and now all of a sudden everybody's talking about Rob Thompson. He's 59 years old, so it's taken him a while to get his opportunity, but here he is now in the World Series.
Jeff Charles joining us. He'll be heading out to Provo on Thursday. Coming up tonight, 7 o'clock, Minges Madness, Jeff, and there is a rumor that I might be involved in the three-point contest tonight. So,
is that right?
Yeah, Akeem Richmond, Sam Hennett, James Legan, Clip Brock, all great shooters in Minges.
Sounds like it to me. My money's on a guy named Clip Brock.
Yeah, right. We'll see how that goes. Chandler can't wait to go out there and roast me coming up later tonight. So, but this is a cool event. It's free. Fans will be out there to see the men's and women's basketball team. Going to have some contests, and should be some fun as we are less than 2 weeks away from the season beginning.
It's hard to believe, isn't it, Clip? Mercer will be coming in here on November the 8th, and we start another season. I had the opportunity to spend about a half hour with Coach Schwartz yesterday, and we went over some things as far as the radio network is concerned. I really like Mike. I know he's going to burn the candle at both ends. I know the effort will be there. We don't have to tell anybody what a tough job this is at ECU. The basketball gig, it's a tough, tough job. But I know those guys are going to come in here, and they're going to really work hard, and they're going to bring that lunch pail every game and every time they come into the office. So it'll be interesting to see. He's in a major rebuilding mode, as we know. A lot of the players who were here last year and good players have moved on. So he's got some holdovers from last year, but he's also got a lot of new guys. I think there are 10 new players on this team, 7 freshmen. So it's here we go again with another new coach and another rebuild, and we'll see what Coach Schwartz can do. I know in talking with him, he says, hey, we're going to have to play some great defense this year because offensively I'm not sure where our points are going to come from. But Mercer comes in here, and then the Pirates have some more home games, the usual suspects in the non-conference. And you have to win those non-conference games, Clip, before the conference season starts, as we know, because the AAC is so incredibly difficult, and it'll be another really good league this year. And Houston, they're talking about Houston as a Final Four kind of team again this year. So
preseason number 3.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Yeah. And Kelvin Sampson's one of the top coaches in college basketball, and they've got great players and great athletes, and it's always fun when they come into Minges.
Yeah, some of the most exciting games in Minges was that era with Bill Harrion where they'd win 58-54 and have, Mikulus and those guys shooting free throws and not a ton of offense, some hard-nosed defense. So maybe we get some of that this year in Minges Coliseum. Jeff, thanks for joining us today. We'll check in with you via the phone on the Bud Light pregame tailgate on Friday. Have a good trip and a great call.
Always enjoy it, Clip. Thanks so much, and we'll be talking with you from Provo.
We'll take a time out, come back, have more for you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Back with you after this.
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome prices on boats from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. If you're looking to purchase a home, it is still a great time, and being pre-qualified before you begin shopping is an advantage. At Angel Oak, we offer a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans that can fit most financial situations. To get started, contact our experienced team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best. Everybody loves burgers.
Hey Pirate Nation, Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop for all your tailgate essentials. This is Holt Nailers, and if you need a Yeti cooler, apparel, shoes, or accessories for the season, Shimmer has you covered. Shimmer Boutique is also the exclusive retailer in Greenville, carrying the largest selection of built and broken gear for adults and youth. Be ready for game day and every day at Shimmer Boutique on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks and in Winterville across from Lowe's. Go Pirates!
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Cuccinella, inviting you and your family to come by Cuccinella's Pizzeria and Italian Ice. Cuccinella's has been serving our special family recipe New York-style pizza since 1932. We think you'll taste the difference in just one bite. When you come in for a pie, don't forget to try our house-made Italian ice or gelato. We make small batches every day from scratch with all fresh ingredients.
Cuccinella's on Old Tar Road in Winterville, and a new location coming soon to Uptown Greenville.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. To get the business services that are right for your business today, contact the team of experienced local bankers at First Bank. The team includes bankers you can trust, like Ashley Capps, Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nesbitt. First Bank, together with their customers, they're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Alrighty, back with you. Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Here's something a little different. Saw this on social media earlier this week. Contacted the guy, and now we got him on. And it is a pretty cool story. His name is Ben Chase, and he is going around the country this college football season and going to 70, maybe 71 games, different stadiums this year, including bowl games. And we are able to ask him what the heck this is all about. So let's welcome on to the Pit Electric Live line Ben Chase. We'll see the Pirates coming up on Friday night as they take on BYU. He joins us here today on PRL. Ben, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Thank you guys for having me. I'm somewhere in Montana. I think I'm in Columbus, Montana. I can see a lot of very pretty mountains. I'm just north of Yellowstone National Park, I think.
That's awesome. So who is Ben Chase? Why is he in Montana? Why are we talking to him? We got a lot of questions to ask and answers to get. So, Ben, I just found out about this week. You are attempting to attend 70 college football games this year. You've attended 34. You got 3 more coming up this week, including East Carolina and BYU. So where to start? I guess let's start with you. So what's your deal? What's your story?
Yeah, no, that's a good place to start, and I think it's fair to say that I still don't know who I am. So I'm from Orlando, Florida. I currently live in Tucson, and when I say I live in Tucson, I just pay rent there, and I live out of my van, Betty White. I went to UF for undergrad and GW for law school, and I left my job about 2.5-3 weeks before the season started, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I did some interviews, and I kind of just said, you know what, screw it, I want to do something for myself. And I'm a Gator, and I've driven from Orlando to College Station overnight for games. I've driven from DC to Gainesville. I've driven from San Diego to Cabo overnight, 21 hours. And my friends at Gator Twitter actually kind of jokingly banned me from road games a few years ago because every game I went to, we'd lose. But while I was doing all those trips, people would send me these college football Reddit ultimate road trip maps, 3 or 4 years in a row. One of my friend Andrew, I actually saved it on my Chrome favorites, and I kind of just sat down and said, well, maybe I could do this, and I looked up the record for just driving because I just like to drive, and the record's 50 games on the road. So I pulled up at the beginning of the season and outlined. I got to 62, and now we're shooting for 70.
That's amazing. That's good stuff. Obvious question here. Who's funding this? Where do you have a money tree, and where can I get one?
No. I have 3 credit cards, and I've had over 150 people, help me out on the trip either through Venmo or get me tickets. And
oh wow!
I never ask for money on the road. People have just kind of attached themselves to the story, and and have kept me going forward. In fact, today I just got off a call with the AD at USF. I announced last Tuesday I was going to try to get 70 kids to a game, and on Twitter the AD replied, email me and we'll figure it out. And today we were able to secure those tickets. So now we're going to, so one of the games in 2 weeks, we're going to bring at least 70 kids to a college football game in Tampa, Florida. So, I honestly, I call it my last semester of college debt while I'm chasing my dream, which is to meet people and tell good stories across the country.
So you can follow Ben's journey at Ben G Chase on Twitter. I'm more of a tweeter. Are you on the other stuff, Ben, the Instagram and all that good stuff too?
Yeah. I'm on. They're all the same handle at Ben G Chase. Mostly right. Twitter and Instagram. I was doing some YouTube at the beginning, but I just don't have time because I'm driving. This week, I'm driving 62 hours just to get to 3 games. It's actually a lighter week as far as games go, but it's a heavy week for driving. And right now I have 71 games on my outline, but because of this commitment to these kids, I may have to drop one just for logistics. So we'll be at 70. But at this point, I don't really care about the record as much as just meeting good people and telling good stories about. I think college football brings people together more than any other sport or anything in our country, including politics and religion. And I'm kind of living that right now. Tomorrow's game 35, and then the ECU BYU game will be 36. And at this point, out of 35 games, I've only paid for 7 tickets.
That's pretty cool. Ben Chase joining us. Ben, have you been to a game in the state of North Carolina this year?
I believe I have. Let me think. I went to Charlotte. Yeah, I went to Charlotte for my 4th game of the season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's the first coach that, unfortunately, I've seen lose his job. It was the William & Mary game, week 1, and I believe that may be the only game I've seen in the state of North Carolina, but I have, so at least I did one there.
Yeah, okay, 10-4. Well, we hope to get you here in Greenville sometime. That'd be fun to to have you here in attendance for an East Carolina game. East Carolina and Florida played a couple of times in a very short span. They played in a bowl game. Was it the Birmingham Bowl? And then East Carolina went to the Swamp, and we remember it because the Pirates had the ball, driving, a chance to tie the game, and Blake Kemp fumbled the ball. Had Zay Jones there, but dropped the ball. Do you know anything about East Carolina at all, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I remember you guys giving us some heart attacks, and I've seen the Pirates do well. You guys just had who's your most famous quarterback that's been like in the league?
Jeff Blake, David Garrard.
Yeah,
we've had a few. Yeah,
Garrard, that's who it was. Yeah. Because I'm from Orlando, so I'm a Bucs fan, but I follow the Jags, even though they're the tortured franchise of Florida. But yeah, so I mean, I have a little bit of awareness, but not like I would say that I'm a closet UCF fan at times, so I know you guys have had battles with them. But besides that, not like heavily tapped into everything going on in Pirate Nation.
Yeah, hopefully they'll put on a good show for you coming up Friday night, coming off actually a beatdown over UCF, snapped a long losing streak to the Knights on Saturday. So Pirates are playing pretty well, 1-2 in a row, and one more win from bowl eligibility. We're talking to Ben Chase. Ben, let's get some superlatives here. How about your favorite, we'll go favorite stadium you've entered so far this season?
Sure. So it's kind of hard because, like, I've been to 34 different stadiums now. I would say that the most surprising stadium was Texas State, which you're not going to like believe it, but like they had, if I'm going to take a family of like from 4 to 84 or 94, they have everything you need. They have Texas tradition from like chanting and everything. They have a beer garden, a bounce house. They have a petting zoo. They have photo booths, all for free, included in entry. So like that's like for an in-game experience like that. That's like for the whole family. I'd say that. As far as like experience from like a high level, I mean, it's hard to beat like the whiteout at Penn State this last weekend was pretty incredible. The Maze out, the Alabama at Texas was probably the most competitive game in a college, like an actual college town that I've been to. So those are probably some of the top ones for sure.
I mean, I hate to get negative here. Is there a bad stadium you've attended, an unpleasant experience through your 34 so far?
I would say that logistically, Alabama at Austin was like probably the biggest logistical nightmare. Even though the experience from like the game was great, a lot of people, and it wasn't just me, the people around me said that in the third quarter, they're like, we haven't had this many people in the stadium this late in the game in like over a decade. And it was also the hottest day on the trip. I had a lot of EMTs like on the upper bowl, like taking care of people. So like, and then I asked like 3 different people. No one knew where my section was. So I think logistically that was probably the most difficult, even though like the experience overall was very memorable because it was a competitive game.
Ben Chase joining us. He is chasing. Is this a record? If you can attend 70, is there a record? Do you know, Ben?
Yeah. So the record is it's specifically a road trip record. So,
okay.
It's the most games in a college football season all on the road. It was set by 2 brothers in 2015. They went to 50 games, and right now my outline has me going to 71 games. And I don't have a brother with me to drive. I'm driving it all. By myself here in my van. Betty White is a 2017 Dodge Grand Caravan, and it's just she's the real MVP. She's putting on all these miles, and I've driven over probably 26,000 miles since week 0, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to smash the record as long as Betty holds up here for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Shout out Betty White. All right, Ben, how about we take pride in our tailgating around here? I think you will not be seeing that Friday. From what I understand, the Cougar faithful do not tailgate. They just show up, cheer, and go home. How about best tailgating experiences so far?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to start at Charlotte. You wouldn't expect that, but I was invited to a tailgate at an ambulance called the Normulance, and they had some really cool traditions already set up. They take a shot. They have a giant like shot ski, but it's an axe because they're the Niners, and they have an hour before the game time, they take shots of Gold Slugger, but it's dyed green because, again, that's their colorway. They had a Drinko-Plinko thing where you put a little ball in and it decides 1 of 6 shots. And then, obviously, an ambulance that you party out of is pretty fun. I'm biased. I'm a Gator, so I'll just say that there's a tailgate there called oh, crap, what's the official name of it? I'm blanking right now. The Harmonic Woods tailgate is always an epic one there. They do like a crazy musical festival basically in the woods. And then I would say there was from a private standpoint in Austin, there's this tailgate called the Horns Ball, and you can just show up, pay $50 or $60, all you can eat, all you can drink. They have bachelor party reserve areas where you can book like your alcohol in advance. Like I met people from New Jersey, a bachelor party that just flew in. None of them had ties to UT Austin or Alabama. They were just there to have a good time, and they had like a shot ski lounge, like a luge that you like. They just poured. I was like, oh, COVID is definitely over right now. Just like luge, and so like those are probably some of the top ones. I've been to some pretty like high end tailgates too, like out of buses and stuff. But those are probably the most memorable from different scales.
So Ben, when you show up, how many out of the 34 previous stops have you at least been in contact, like known somebody to talk to when you get there, and how many have you gone just completely solo where you don't know anybody? So like, are you meeting up with people at these spots?
So like at the beginning, so like the first 2 games of the season, I just walked up to tailgates and said, hey, do you guys have an extra? And that included the backyard brawl, West Virginia, Pittsburgh. And, someone an hour before the game, the tickets were $183. And I was like, all right, well, I guess this is the first game I buy tickets for. And I went up to one tailgate, and the first people I asked, I was like, hey, do you have an extra ticket? And they go, yeah, we do. We were going to sell it for $600, but you can have it. And I was like, oh, okay. So, like, it just depends, like, on the day. Like, in the last 2 weeks, this story has kind of, like, been amplified. Friday night at the Western Kentucky game, I had, like, an in-game feature, which is kind of crazy. They reached out to me, CBS Sports Network, and I was like, hey, we'd love for you to be a part of our show. They did like a during the game, just kind of like a feature on me. But I would say at this point it's like 50-50. I actually enjoy freestyling. So I have 3 rules on the road. Every game I go to, I buy a shirt and hat of the home team. So sorry, on Friday I will be wearing the BYU colors and Cougar colors. And then I give the hat away to people that have contributed on the road. So I actually have a backlog of hats I got to mail out. If someone offers me a drink, I have to take it, and I stay to the end of every game. So, like, a lot of people are like, oh, like, is he just, like, puddle hopping from game to game? No, like, I stay to the end of every game. I have a selfie at the end of every game at double zeros, like, in the stadium. So, and I've done 5 double Saturdays. So I've gone to five Saturdays. I've gone to 2 different games, and all 5 of those days, I did not miss the kickoff at the second game. So, like, I'm pretty dialed in when it comes to Saturdays. So that's kind of, like, my system.
Awesome stuff. Ben Chase joining us somewhere in Montana on the way to Pullman, Washington, correct, for Washington State tomorrow night. And then it'll be ECU BYU on Friday. And then Saturday, Pac-12, SEC, Arizona. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I actually, like I said, I pay rent in Tucson, so I got a credit card waiting for me in my mailbox. That's kind of the reason I'm going back there.
Oh, that's good stuff, man. So I'd ask you what the future holds for you, but sounds like you just kind of fly by the seat of your pants. So whatever.
Yeah. I got 75 days till the national championship. Not that I'm counting, and then after that, I'm going to kind of figure it out from there.
Does your 70 include bowl games? 71?
Yeah.
Okay.
End of the season, I'll have 57 or 58 during the regular season, plus like 13 or 14 for the Bulls. So I may see you guys in a bowl game.
Yeah, it could be. Pirates 1 win away from that 6th win. Could get it Friday night against BYU. And Ben Chase and Betty White, the van, will be there to witness it all. That's awesome stuff. Well, Ben, we'll let you get back on the road and enjoy it, man. Enjoy this great country you've been driving through and these awesome football games. And maybe we'll catch up with you again, man. This is a cool story, so we'll keep following you.
Oh, I'm super grateful. Thanks, guys, and I wish you guys the best. And I expect to see you in a bowl game this fall or this winter.
All right, there is Ben Chase joining us, Pit Electric Live Line, as he is chasing the dream. Pretty cool. Driving around the country, going to college football games. He'll see East Carolina and BYU in person coming up on Friday night. We'll be with you 4 o'clock Friday on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, taking you up to that 8 o'clock kickoff. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More to go on Pirate Radio Live. We'll hear some of Blake Harrell, what he had to say yesterday at his press conference when we return on PRL after this.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest-free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
Pitt County has not gotten our fair share when it comes to state funding because we don't have a seat at the table when it comes time to craft the budget. While the legislature is controlled by Republicans, 100% of Pitt County's members are Democrats. This despite Democrats only making up 40% of Pitt County citizens. Furthermore, while most of our county has risen to the challenge of the pandemic and new business, as well as new development, the glaring exception is the town of Bethel. Under Mayor Glorstein Brown, the signs of the times in Bethel are for rent, no trespassing, and out of business.
What I see happening in Bethel is what I would love to see happen in my district and within the county.
What? No. That's not what we need. Charles Drock Vincent is a businessman who will be your voice in Raleigh, making sure Pitt County gets our fair share of state funding to facilitate more positive growth in our area. Remember to vote Vincent, your voice in the State House.
Paid for by Vincent for House.
Fall isn't just for football, it's a great time for something new to wear as well. And Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington has everything you need for game day as well as any other day for men and women. Whether it's dress, casual, or even a formal occasion, Russell's has you covered. Russell's has served Eastern North Carolina and beyond for 39 years with quality clothing and personal service. We are proud supporters of ECU athletics and invite the Pirate Nation to shop Russell's in downtown Washington, the home of Russell's Clothing.
Go Pirates!
Winslow's is now Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room. With a brand new look, Fifth Street Hardware also has a new menu and serving lunch and dinner every Tuesday through Sunday and brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. What else is new? Well, they have poker every Tuesday night, Trivia Wednesday with DJ Captain Morgan, and on Friday and Saturday nights they have live music open till 2 a.m. serving light appetizers all night long. New look, new name, same location on Fifth Street. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for more specials. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room.
Welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
At US Cellular, any phone you see is free, whether you're a new or current customer. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, you know why we're here. The football season is back! Woo! That means those pregame barbecues with an ice-cold Pepsi? Totally back. Your perfectly placed football watching corner seat back and comfy as ever. 18 Sundays of touchdown scoring, Hail Mary throwing, ice-cold Pepsi flowing football action. You better believe it's back. And since that's too amazing to miss a single second's worth, Pepsi is officially giving you permission to always put football first. And when we say always, we mean always. Like when your lawn is looking less like a lawn and more like a jungle. If the game's on, then the lawnmower ain't. And those gutters you haven't cleaned, today is not their day. Or maybe those in-laws are back in town. Well, better hope they're football fans because your Sunday is completely booked. Long story short, crack open a Pepsi and don't let anything get between you and your football watching. With love, Pepsi, made for football watching. That's what I like.
Pirate. Once a child wants to spell.
P is for pirate. R is for radio.
Speak and spell.
That is correct.
Radio.
You are right. I'm learning a lot, really.
Pirate.
Pirate Radio.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Take a look at your stock market report. The Dow was up 2 points, closed out the day at 31,839. NASDAQ was down 228 points at 10,970, and the S&P was down 28 points as well at 3,830. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into the show. Here's Cliff.
All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Not that I'm really complaining, but my goodness, Washington has fallen off the map, quite literally. I was looking at the local TV schedule for this weekend. Your CBS early game will be Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. Your Fox early game will be Carolina at Atlanta. And your Fox late game will not be Washington at Indianapolis here in North Carolina. It'll be San Francisco at L.A. So can't even get the Commanders here when they are available to get. When they aren't going up against the Panthers, it'll be San Fran, L.A. as the games this weekend locally. Shirley turned me on to a stat to consider. She turned me on to a stat to consider.
The stat to consider.
Did I stutter?
I didn't say nothing.
No.
This is Greg Wrubell, play-by-play voice of BYU, letting the folks over there know how good this receiving core is. He says East Carolina wide receiver Isaiah Winstead is one of only three, count them, three FBS players with 50 catches and 800-plus receiving yards. ECU is one of only two FBS schools with multiple players, 650-plus receiving yards, Winstead, and, of course, C.J. Johnson.
Huge.
Welcome back, Chandler.
Huge flex.
Who's flexing?
ECU.
Oh.
And Isaiah Winstead.
That he is. All right, that's offense. Let's talk some defense. Let's hear what Blake Harrell had to say yesterday at the weekly press conference as he met with the media.
Coach, a short turnaround. Do you feel like from a game plan perspective, prep perspective, you're already caught up, or still kind of catch up mode?
No, I think we're caught up. I mean, our coaches and the sports staff and analysts and GAs have done a really good job just preparing for this. And, at this point in season 2, you kind of start building your package, and you kind of, hey, what can we get to that our kids really feel really good about, really know, can play really fast and physical and go play the way we want to play. So you don't want to overload them, get them thinking too much. That'll slow them down. And then you take the looks that you think are their top looks, and you make sure you're practicing it. Make sure you're preparing for what we call their fastballs, and make sure you're sitting on those and ready to play those. So that's what we've done. And just I was actually talking with the coaches out there just then to say, hey, what other looks do we need to show them that we need to possibly be prepared for? And at this point in the season, too, game whatever it is, you feel like you've seen so many different offenses that you can combine. Hey, remember what we saw against Memphis or Tulane or UCF that kind of pull that back out, and hey, this is who it's similar to. So just really good recall from our guys over this course of this week of just similar opponents of this particular scheme, pass play, all that kind of stuff, and pulling it out. So they did a really nice job of that.
Another week, another challenge at quarterback.
Yeah, hopefully one day you'll quit saying that. I think he's a really good quarterback. He's really good arm talent and really special kid. And I know I heard some guys in the preseason say he's better than the kids with the Jets. I don't know. I'm not an NFL quarterback guru, but I think he's pretty good. And he's certainly got our attention and our respect. So we got to do a good job with him. I thought Liberty did a nice job getting pressure on him. That was probably his worst game of his career. So we'll probably try to replicate some things they did, hopefully. But you got to look at the other games that he played really well in, and threw for almost 400 yards against University of Arkansas, and did some really nice job against Notre Dame. So those are the games that he's played well in, and you got to go back and why did he play well in those games, and what can you take away from it? What do we got to take away from him? So certainly a challenge, but we got to go out there and take care of us and do things we do well.
they've had some injuries to their skilled guys. It seems like they're kind of in and out. But when they are healthy, they got some NFL guys. So what challenges that create?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of a tough piece from a game plan perspective is, hey, if 18's in there, if 0's in there, if 12's in there, 83, all those guys combined, like which combination are you going to get? And then who do they want to get the ball to? 12 was back full speed and healthy last week, and I think he touched the ball about 15 times out of 30-something snaps that he was in the game. So he was definitely a focal point of their offense. If 0's healthy and he's in there, then maybe he gets a few more touches. Maybe if he's not in there, maybe 12 gets him. If 18 comes back, then obviously some of the touches go to him. So, and if two, same thing in the backfield. If 2's back there and full speed, how many touches is he going to get? So that's a little bit of a guessing game from a personnel perspective. Is exactly where they're trying to spread the ball to. You kind of know their base run game, their base pass game, but who their top targets. And I think some of it too is just a system. Whoever happens to be in there, 27 and 20 are both good ball players. The tight ends are good players. So we got to, you got to keep your eyes on all of them, know where all of them's at. Obviously, with 12 and 0, 18's around, you dang better sure know where they are.
You had an outstanding performance defense-wise last Saturday. How do you kind of grow off of that and take it to Utah?
I think anytime you go play well, it builds confidence with your program, with your team, and with our defensive unit. And I think it's certainly doing that. I thought we played pretty well against Memphis until last drive. I think we only gave up like 20 or 23 points, whatever it was there, and felt really good about it. And then carried that in UCF, so you can see, hey, each and every week the confidence grows. And if we can continue to do that and get off to a good start in Utah, then I think that confidence will even grow more, and we can get to where we want to be.
Blake Harrell, more from Coach Harrell, more from Donnie K on Thursday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. We'll also have Tony Dunn in. CalendarCatChronicles.com. We'll make our NFL picks. Touchdown, Tony Collins, Troy D. We'll have a lot of fun on Thursday's show, our last Pirate Radio Live of the week. But, of course, we will be with you Friday on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, taking you up to the 8 o'clock kickoff. We'll kick it off 4 o'clock on Friday. Thanks for tuning in today. Chan Man's back with Jesse.
Jesse's back, and Chan Man's back. But what is most important is that Jesse's back. The old Jeep. Back in my arms.
Beep, beep. Who got the keys to my Jeep? Shirley, CJ, Chandler. We'll see you fine folks Thursday, 3 o'clock on an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. We're off to Minges Madness. So long, everybody.